vas a dar toda la vuelta así. Lo abrimos aquí.
Time for the fastest moving sport. We're so damn excited to get back to the battle court. Step on the concha. Your cesta launches a chick-chack. And the Cyclones gear up for the attack. Highlight is back, Jack. When the Warriors are running through, pick up the phone and call Manu. When the Renegades are moving in, the Cyclones will step up and win. When the fronton is getting packed, that's how you know that Highlight is back, Jack. Let me hear you say, Highlight is back, Jack. The Lotus flying through the air.
I genuinely like this sport.
Week, so we better see you there when they remate. Rebote like a maniac. If you say this game's the best, I'll say it's a gag. Highlight is back, Jack.
For my rotator cuff, so please be gentle.
Highlight is back, Jack. Highlight is back. Highlight is back, Jack.
We did it, everybody. Give it up for Friday.
Yeah, we did it.
We did it. We made it.
All right.
We got through the week. That's how it's done. The weekend starts for everybody. That's right. All right. We got a good crew today. I don't know if this crew's worked together yet. We have Dave, who's out there on the West Coast. Dave Damashek. Hello, Dave. Give it up for Dave joining us. Hello.
Hey.
Yo, what's happening, everybody? You know, highlight outfits, now out of context when I look at them, they're the only sport that involves slacks besides golf. Am I right?
It could be right.
They're wearing baseball pants.
Could be right.
Is that what they are? Baseball pants are not like a bet. You know, again, out of context, who says baseball pants are inherently more athletic than slacks? Who came up with baseball pants and football pants for that matter? Really, when you think about it, the sport whose uniform is most tailored to help the athletes wearing them is basketball. Like that makes sense. Like shorts and tank top, liberating, so you can make the movements required to perform at your very best.
Sometimes
Slacks, I don't know.
You know, based on what Dave is saying, sometimes I'll be watching hockey, which I've given a try this Stanley Cup playoffs. It's a good sport.
What'd you think last night?
Look, Ducks and Oilers, I got to catch a little bit when I got home last night. I'll get to that in a second. But based on what Dave is talking about there, sometimes I'll be watching hockey, and I look at, the uniform, and I remember what a massive pain in the ass it is for these guys to get dressed. There's so much going on. They're taping the leggings. Like, they're actually using tape, okay? There's so much happening. What a huge pain in the ass to get dressed. Basketball, throw on a tank top and some shorts. Let's get out there and play. Anyway, Battle Court today?
Yes, and the hockey gear is so heavy that in between periods they take it all off.
Yeah, and then they got to
so
do it all
heavy.
again. Yeah, it's crazy.
How often does it occur to you? Does it occur to you at least once every hockey viewing that, wow, this is a fantastic athletic activity, and by the way, they're doing it all on skates? That happens to me like once every 3 games or so. I am a fly up on the wall watching these people do this, and I'm like, what a weird thing to devote my time to watching. This is such a fringy combination of requirements to do this thing. Like, basketball, like do all that, but also you have to wear blades on your feet the whole time you're doing it.
It is curious
Remarkable.
to be the fourth major of the 4 major sports here, because it is kind of wild, and you would think it would be regional specific, but no, down here, state of Florida, one of the best hockey centers
right.
there is.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Let's see the ratings. Let's see what the ratings are. Yeah, I mean, are people watching it? It's not an indictment, by the way. It's not your obligation
Sounds
to
like
watch
one.
hockey. If the Panthers are, why not just all right. Well,
What a
listen,
loser's
listen,
lament. Check the ratings. Dave, have you checked fingers around here? You got 2 of them right up yours, buddy.
What?
That was so aggressive for Friday morning.
My bad. I just woke up.
Well, Tony gets defensive about
With
his
the-
hockey.
Thank you.
With the rings on, too. That's
Yeah,
vivid.
I mean, put them
But you know
right
the
there.
Penguins. You know the Penguins have won 5 of what you're talking
I
about.
didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I
I have
know
no
you-
recollection of that.
You are actually breaking that news to Tony.
Literally.
Mike, Battle Court, what do we got
Yes.
going on?
We have the Battle Court semifinals going down today at Casino Miami. Now it's closed doors for the Cyclones 3 o'clock matinee showdown with the Fireballs, but you can follow along on YouTube and the ESPN app. The ownership and brain trust of the Cyclones will be in attendance, rooting their boys on, trying to make it to a second consecutive Battle Court final, trying to be the first team in Battle Court history to repeat, Zaz. This is a big deal. And tonight is a pretty good match, too. I know there's a big slate in the NBA and in hockey. Some teams can be packing their bags to Cabo tonight. But Renegades versus Chargers.
Put your kids to bed.
That's a doozy. That one's probably getting the sound on tonight, Zaz.
I saw a big show on my drive here this morning. I saw the billboard, big show coming to Magic City Casino, Keith Sweat.
Ooh. Yeah, well, we play Casino Miami now. That's a
Oh, those are not the same things.
No.
All right. Well, there you go. Gave him a little plug. Speaking of which, last night I did pull the trigger. All right. I was wondering yesterday. I am the ticket ninja, which means I know how to get the best prices, the best deals. I know all the pre-sale passwords. I swear to God, yesterday there was a WWE pre-sale that went on sale yesterday. I swear, my right hand to God, I guessed the password correct.
What was it?
I swear to God. It was for SummerSlam, okay? I tried one password.
Coco beware.
I tried one password. It didn't work on my second attempt, all right? It was like getting Wordle on your first attempt, all right? I guessed it straight up, unlocked it. Summer. I couldn't believe it. Straight up guess. It could be any word in the world. I guessed the word.
That was your second attempt?
Second attempt, yeah.
What was your first one? Slam?
WWE Live. You always got to try WWE Live first.
Zaz, how do you figure out a password? Is it a reference to something in your personal history? Is it an acknowledgement?
Oh, like how do I choose a password when I'm setting something?
I mean, I don't want you to betray, your bank account or anything, but no one's going to try to access it probably. But let's see if we can figure out how Zaz comes up with his passwords.
Yeah, I'm going to say
is
let's.
it a reference?
I'm going to go with let's not try and have a session where we figure out my password.
Roman Reigns the best, too.
Roman Reigns best.
So is it a reference to an athlete that you?
I'm not
you
doing
fancy?
this. I don't want people to
Harold
know
Miner
my
in some
passwords.
way?
We're not doing this.
We're not going to do that anymore.
What are your favorite numbers?
Just give me the last 4 of your social.
Anyway,
What was your childhood address?
We're not going to be able to
Glenn
guess
Rice
it. Is it a
41?
reference to your family, or is it a reference to sports? I think that's what a lot of people
I'm not
do,
doing
right?
this.
G Money $41.
You know what? I will be honest. For a very long time, my password was Glenn Rice specific. For a very long time. It's not anymore, so I can say that to you now. But for a very long time, yes, you could have figured out everything in my life if you know a little bit about Glenn Rice. That's up.
Palin,
Yes, that's not a secret anymore, Sarah Palin. Good for you, Glenn. Good for you. So anyway, last night I pulled the trigger. All right. I bought the tickets. I went to Guns N' Roses last night. It was expensive. Went at the Hard Rock Live. It's my third time seeing them. I hadn't seen them in like 10 years. I love Guns N' Roses, man. And I took my wife. We had really good seats. It was at Hard Rock Live, which is literally one street for me. That's the key. I mean, is there a better scenario than when? Because if you're going to get me out of the house at my age on a weeknight, you're asking a lot.
Yeah, you got to have at least the Intercontinental title on the line.
So there's got to be like some juice to it. And if the concert is literally on the street that I live on and it's 8 minutes away from the home, I mean, come on. That's enticing. And so, yes, we bought tickets yesterday for Guns N' Roses, my wife and I. Axel's out there. He's doing the moves still, He's got the microphone. He's got all the Axel moves out there. And they played for about 3 hours. They played close to 30 songs.
Too long?
They played.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest here. It was a long show. It was long. It didn't need to be that long. Like, did I need the 4 or 5 cover songs that they mixed in? Probably not, all right? It was long. And I'll tell you, Mike Ryan, because you warned me, Axl Rose, he looked really good.
Yeah.
Looked much better than he looked, I would say, 10 years ago. He's got in better shape.
I agree. He's in better shape, and he's had better work done.
Looks
Corrective measures.
Looks good. Looks good.
Yeah. How did he sound?
Not great.
I saw some videos from the show. Someone put the caption, "Welcome to Parrot Jungle."
He did not sound great. Musically, they sound fantastic. I mean, there's like Slash is going to be able to play guitar. Duff McKagan's going to be able to play the bass until they die.
How great does he look?
Slash?
No.
Duff? Oh, Duff looks amazing. Looks amazing. He's definitely in his 60s. Looks amazing. Slash, a little bit of a belly these days, but look, he's Slash. What are you going to do? And like I said, Axl, I love seeing him out there. I love him running around doing his moves. Didn't sound great, but still, I had a really good time, Dave.
Do they, first of all, is it sort of the vibe of a nostalgia tour?
Yes.
Like, I went to see Cal Ripken play during the streak, even though he would, by the tail end of it, wasn't at his best anymore, but I felt I needed to witness it. Basically that vibe. And the second question I have is it really a virtue, these 3-hour shows? We hear all the time, just last week ago, Taché was talking about or 2 weeks ago, seeing Springsteen. People always do this thing like, man, he gets out there. He's 87 years of age or whatever Springsteen is now. 87 years young. Gets out there. 3.5 hours. Like, who needs 3.5 hours?
Me,
just about
me,
anything.
and everyone in the building. Yeah, I could have taken another hour. I would have been grateful to have 15 more songs.
I would say that the latter question depends on your love for who you're seeing.
And if they're any good.
Like Pearl Jam used to play, it's been a little while, but they used to play 3-hour shows, and it's like, oh my God, the only thing wrong with the 3-hour show is that it's not a 4-hour show. But
do they have the songs to support 3 hours? I mean, I would say the same thing about Guns N' Roses, and no disrespect to Pearl Jam, because I know they're faithful, are hardcore, but I mean, after what, about the year 2000, how many I mean, they got 10 albums. Do you think have been Okay, but how many of the songs within those albums would you add to the catalog rightly to say, like, yes, they belong in the top 10 of the Pearl Jam songs of all time? I mean, if somebody who's watched from a distance, who's lost interest over the years, I liked Pearl Jam a lot in the 90s and whatever. Okay. It's like, all right, I mean, they're better bands, but okay.
All right. Like, I feel like this is heading in a direction where I'm going to get aggravated, and I'm not trying to get aggravated on a Friday morning, all right? So, you know, we're going to go back to the Guns N' Roses part of this conversation.
Asking questions, that's all. I'm just asking questions.
I do think it felt a little bit like a nostalgia act, and I will say this for this reason.
Because they haven't released an album in 20 years?
Yeah, 18 years, actually. That is true. Oh. I will say this.
Has it been 18 years since Chinese Democracy? Wow.
Everyone in the crowd, and we had good seats. We were sitting in the orchestra level, okay? Unless you were on the floor like they had the pit, you know, which, holy crap, can you imagine standing for 3 hours? Give me a break.
I've done that. I've done the pit for GNR at that venue.
It's a lot.
It is.
That's a lot.
And half the time I'm Shazamming because I didn't think they had 3.5 hours worth of music.
Here's why it felt a little bit like a nostalgia act, what you're describing there, Dave, because I would say 90% of the crowd is sitting the whole show.
Tough. Tough. They got up for Welcome to the Jungle, though, right?
Well, that was the opener, so everyone gets up when the lights
That's
dim.
what they open with?
Yeah.
Wait, they play for 3.5 hours and they open with Welcome to the Jungle?
You got to let everybody know where you are. You're in the jungle, baby. You're going to die.
Does he scream like, you're going to die?
Tries.
Yeah.
He tries.
Is the Journey of November Rain, is that like they start out sitting down and then they rise up at the appropriate time?
No. It's not an acoustic performance, Dave.
No, it starts with the piano.
I understand, but it's not all of them are
November Rain is an epic song, Dave.
Yes, of course.
I'm not denouncing the song.
No, I'm co-signing. And an incredible music video. I mean, that song takes you on a journey.
That was back when music videos were music videos, all right? Give me a movie here. Give me a story. You're getting married in a church at the end of a cliff, and Slash is playing on the very edge. Be careful, Slash. Don't slip. Incredible.
Hold on. We got to do something for the first 10 minutes here.
I don't know. No.
Too American. You don't know?
No, Slash is kind of like a little ambiguous.
All right. Had a great
He's
time.
Jewish.
Is he?
Yeah, of course.
He's got quite the tan.
That's my dog right there. I knew it.
Guns N' Roses, Pearl Jam, Springsteen. Who else did we mention that was incredibly white?
Dude, Slash's name is Saul Hudson.
Huh, he's a Saul.
Wow.
Better call him.
Is he only Jewish?
Yes,
I'm on it.
but his father is Jewish, right?
So when I got to the Hard Rock,
That's legal, everybody. Don't I feel
Hold
some
on a moment. He has refuted the claims that
Semitic
his
warriors on
father
the
is
case.
Jewish.
Okay. Thank you, Semitic warrior. I'm a little tinge of Sicilian. That's what I'm hoping for.
so when I got to the Hard Rock last night, right before I went into the building, into the Hard Rock Live, there's the sports bar next to it. My wife and we order a drink, and I look up at the screen there, and I see the score of the Knicks-Hawks game. And it says, it was like 61-19. What the hell? Like, how could that even be a real... How many points were they ahead by at one point? Like, what was...
Slash, black parent.
Dad is English. Mom is African American.
We got a Jew mixed in there? No?
And he was named after the cartoonist Saul Steinberg
I
of
told
the New
you.
Yorker.
Racially ambiguous.
All right. There you have it.
Play on.
I couldn't believe the score.
So
of
he's
that
not
game.
a bar mitzvah.
No.
All right. That was a falsehood right there. So, look, if you had the Hawks plus 50 last night, you were a loser. Maybe you should have bought the hook, maybe a little bit more. You'd have come out a winner. But we'll get to all the basketball, shocking stuff. But I do want to actually mention the hockey here. And the Anaheim Ducks advanced last night. They knock out Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. And this is very appropriate because you may know, one of the few things. Sometimes you got to take a stance. Sometimes you got to push in the opposite direction. And that's what Greg Cody did a couple of years ago, all right? So Connor McDavid, who now loses in the first round to the lower-seeded Anaheim Ducks, Greg Cody's got some bragging rights.
Connor McDavid, where have you gone? You've been pissing in the wind out on the ice. How fast you have skated without having won. But after all these years, it's no surprise. You didn't face Kachuk, and you couldn't beat the Ducks, so you're still McOverrated in my eyes. Connor McDavid, where did you go? The extension wasn't what you hoped it'd be. You didn't face Kachuk, and you couldn't beat the Ducks, so you're still McOverrated to me. Yeah, you didn't face Kachuk, and you couldn't beat the Ducks. Yeah, you're still overrated to me.
That's a catchy song. Let's give it up for Greg. We can actually let's give a toast to Greg Cody. What a great job.
Toast to Greg Cody, getting it right 3 years in a row. It's worth a toast. Thanks to Cuervo. Greg Cody, what a guy.
Did the Florida Panthers break the Edmonton Oilers? 2 years in a row, the Panthers took that ass, and then you get the whole conversation this past offseason about McDavid and is he going to remain in Edmonton, and gives it's like a show-me short little extension that he signs, and then the result of that is to lose in the have a really frustrating regular season, and then to lose in the first round to the lower-seeded Anaheim Ducks. So Connor McDavid's now a very big story, Mike. Did the Panthers break the Oilers?
I think you can argue that they broke each other. Those were physical series, back-to-back years, both those teams making it all the way, in one instance playing the last possible game available. I think you could make an argument that takes a lot out of you, and we saw that the Panthers kind of crumbled under it. I mean, the very first second Barkov stepped on the ice, his knee gave out. So I think you can make the argument for both. However, the Oilers actually made the playoffs. They did not have the same kind of injury problems during the regular season. Hell, nobody really had them compared to the Florida Panthers. This is a tough look for the Edmonton Oilers because while Coach Q has been there before and there are some veterans on this Anaheim team and we do like them, that's still the Anaheim Ducks, right? That's their first try in the playoffs in several years. That is quite embarrassing, Roy.
You can probably say they broke themselves. I mean, their goaltending's gotten worse, and they made a trade. They traded Stuart Skinner to Pittsburgh for Tristan Jarry. They gave up the 8th most goals in the league this season.
That is the wildest thing to me, how bad their goalie situation has been the last few years.
Yes, and it's been an issue the entire year. So, look, we tee off on Pat Riley. How could you not get a star to pair next to Jimmy Butler? For the Oilers, there was one issue with this team. It was the most obvious thing. You don't have a goalie that's good enough. This year, they really took some swings, and it felt like they didn't have confidence in anybody. They kept doing this yo-yo thing with the position. Real bad window to be wasting when we're talking about Connor McDavid as a generational player, and Draisaitl's not bad in his own right. Bouchard leads all defensemen in points. This is a disaster, Dave Damashek.
Not bad. Leon Draisaitl is considered one of the top 5 hockey players on the planet Earth right now, just behind his pal Connor McJesus, and yet they haven't paired up to win a single Stanley Cup. And it's funny that it would happen against Anaheim because that used to be the home of the 1A answer to what pair of superstars have never won a title together, and that would be Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout way back when. That era is over with. This persists up in Edmonton, and now McJesus, in my opinion, has an important decision to make sincerely. Do you like your neighborhood in Edmonton so much, your teammates, the uniforms, or otherwise, that will keep you there out of some sense of loyalty? And if I'm going to win a Stanley Cup, I want it to be as an Edmonton Oiler, or shame the devil? Or are you more in line with, I don't think it's disgraceful if you were Kevin Durant 10 or 15 years ago, whenever it was, to say, I need that ring to validate everything else. And so, therefore, I need to move on.
But it would be like
to get it done.
But you know what? With the Durant comparison, Dave, it would be like if McDavid left this. He's not a free agent, but like if he were a free agent, he went and he joined the Avalanche.
Yeah, kind of. I don't want to get in the way back about that debate about KD, but I do think for a minute there he was, with all due respect to Steph Curry, the best player on at least one of those Dubs title winners. But either way, yes, I'm picking up what you're laying down, but, I do think that, are you really, you can transcend just the sport of hockey to make it more compelling to everybody out there. By the way, I'm feeling the same pain as McJesus is as a Crosby fan. We both lost to teams wearing way too much orange, but at least Sidney Crosby and I can look back at the 3 Stanley Cups we won. McJesus is the one who should be incented to try to move this discussion. Zaz said before the show started, has Crosby played his last game in Pittsburgh? Like, no. Why would he have played his last game?
I don't have a crystal ball.
Who needs to? Why? Okay, I don't need one. Sidney Crosby has no reason to want out of Pittsburgh. What about his career requires the gilding of the lily for him?
I would argue the losing.
Jesus, if he wants to do this with a Stanley Cup, he better get out of Edmonton.
Perhaps the losing, just throwing a possible reason, is the losing and the no appearances in the second round for a while.
And keep in mind, Connor McDavid was not great this series either. I mean, he had a goal and 5 assists, but he was a -8. He was out on the ice for 13 goals.
That's an excellent point by Roy. I think the story here is it's been some time since Connor McDavid has been consistently good in the playoffs. Like, we're talking about several games here. Now, you can understand him struggling.
Go back to his last 2 playoff series. This one and the last one last year.
Yeah, not good. Yeah, you can understand going up against the Florida Panthers, a team that is uniquely equipped with how great their forecheck was, and arguably again, you have 2 rings that are presently up your butt. That
up yours and around the corner.
I know, but I also heard you say, Mike Ryan say about 3 or 4 minutes ago, nobody had the injuries this year, and then he said, like the Florida Panthers, which I feel like from the word "like" on was all a bunch of jive, because the Florida Panthers didn't have the injuries that the Florida Panthers alleged that they had. Yes, I get Sasha Barkov got hurt at some point, but the rest of it was a bunch of
not a small thing. At some point,
jive.
At some point, he got hurt.
I'm talking about that they did the same gamesmanship crap with
Tony.
when you're allowed with injuries and all of that kind of crap.
Tony,
they
can you do
basically
it one more
ghosted
time?
the back end of the season. They had no dignity.
Dave Damashek, how about the last two right up here?
Yeah, shove him so far up them that it clogs his throat a little bit because his points are just that of a hating-ass hater. What the hell are you talking about? They're the most hurt team in the league. And it
All
wasn't
right,
like
Scott
Evan
Jennings.
Rodriguez. It was, even though he got hurt too, it was like they're
Get
superstars.
your hand out of my face, Mike Ryan. Get your hand out of my face.
They had over 500-man games lost, David. I mean,
Don't.
ridiculous.
You know
You
what?
don't need energy.
He's
I'm
trolling.
I'm not telling you. You're looking back at the injury report and saying, well, look, they didn't play, they didn't dress, so they were injured. Doesn't mean they were actually injured. They decided, well, we're not playing for anything.
It does mean. It actually does mean they were actually
You're
injured.
embarrassing
Dave Damashek.
yourself, Dave.
We're an original 7 franchise, and you're jealous.
Wait, so everybody, there was just a plague that swept through South Florida
Yes,
that
crazy.
resulted in
Yes.
the injuries of
Yes.
all the
You
professional
want to know what the
hockey
plague
players.
was? Reaching the Stanley Cup final 3 straight seasons.
And winning it twice.
Okay.
You know,
right.
doing
That's
this.
now
doing
we
this.
agree. Now,
With the cup, doing
now
this.
we agree. I've done this.
Common misnomer.
I've done this.
No. Common
I've done
misnomer.
this repeatedly.
That they only went to 2 straight. They actually went to 3 straight. Remember, Matthew Tkachuk cracked his sternum and came back and had a game-winning assist
You
against
know
the
about
Vegas
that
Golden
cracked
Knights.
sternum?
Of course I do. It's Gretzky's favorite team. I know all about the Florida Panthers. You understand, I've done this, right? Well, I mean, I've physically done this with the silver up over my head. Then I put some Iron City beer in it. Then I drank it down.
Can we get an
Tell
update
me
here?
about Stanley Cups. People in Miami telling me.
When was the last time you did that? When was the last time you put the cup over your head? When was the last time?
That they know about, that they know what it is to be a champion over and over
Yes.
again. Look at this.
But
We
the
do.
1970s, put that down.
Title Town.
What are you talking about?
That's right.
You know about that parade on the beach?
I high-fived Ryan Lomberg after he went up a stripper pole.
They dipped the Stanley Cup in the ocean.
He poured a beer on me. I told Paul Maurice I love him, and he said it back.
Stood behind Sam Bennett in the bathroom at Live.
Iron City from a Stanley Cup. The end.
Can we get an update here on day 5 of Keep Michael Yormark the hell away from the University of Miami? I feel like it's actually going pretty strong. I get lots of messages like on social media with fans who are very upset at the prospect of him even being a candidate to be the next athletic director at the University of Miami. And I'll get people, hey, Zaslow, why is he so bad? And then I explain it very simply. He's a terrible, terrible man. And everyone's like, okay, great. Well, you know, I don't want that snake oil anywhere near the Miami Hurricanes. Thank you for enlightening us, Zaslow. And the people who do know Mike Ryan, they're very pleased as well that there seems to be this wave of negativity surrounding the idea right now that Michael Yormark is even a candidate for athletic director as Dan Radakovich stepped down.
I mean, when has anybody ever really worked up this much emotion around an
great point.
administrator?
Great point.
This is not what they had envisioned, and it's certainly not what Michael Yormark envisioned several months ago when he started posturing for this job. As you mentioned, the reaction to this has been toxic.
I don't think I've seen anyone support the idea that he would be a good candidate.
No, I mean, yeah, actually, Gary Furman wrote like a very glowing article about Michael Yormark being, I think he called it the deal maker at the door. And
Did it come out right after Gruden was formulating his staff?
that is something in the past there. But the deal maker at the door doesn't exist. At least when he had the opportunity to make all the deals down here 20 years ago, he was famously bad at making deals. A lot of self-dealing. Giving people, as David Sampson mentioned, his contemporaries in the market that were also team presidents were left in a lurch because they would go to potential sponsors and be like, why would I pay you for this signage when I can get it for free from Michael Yormark in the Florida Panthers?
I was stunned hearing that yesterday. I did not even know
Very
that.
bad reputation. But you remember what Vince McMahon said after Survivor Series 1997.
Oh, yeah.
He said Brett screwed Brett.
He was right, actually.
And I think what happened here was Michael Yormark was counting on this being done and dusted in shady back rooms and never being brought to light.
And then just one day they were going to announce, hey, he's the new AD.
Yeah, like a thief in the night. And the fact that Miami is doing a proper search and his name was out there gave Miami and those unfamiliar with Michael Yormark, because let's be real, University of Miami administrators probably weren't familiar with Florida Panthers hockey 20 years ago, right? And this gave people an opportunity to say, no, this dude is about as bad as it gets in this market, and you are making a terrible mistake, because there's actually a lot of people familiar with the Florida Panthers who also happen to love the Miami Hurricanes athletic department, and this would be a bad personality clash, not just from like a business failings thing, because maybe he can learn from his failures of 20 years. I don't know how much he can change. And the person that I worked under for 2 years during an NHL lockout seems to be a bad personality.
I saw the way he treated people. Yeah, absolutely awful.
I don't see how that meshes with Mario Cristobal. I don't see how that meshes with Joe Echeverria. These people, like, I'm sure he's charmed them, and that's what he does.
Yeah, that's how you become a good snake oil salesman.
Yeah. But trust me, when bleep starts hitting the fan and it comes time to, let your real personality show, that is not a personality that I think fits with the Miami Hurricanes. So, Zaz, I would say keep it up. If you're against Michael Yormark being the athletic director at the University of Miami, people have not been shy. Really reputable people in the market, like Will Manso, comes out and says stuff. That stuff matters. Dan's voice matters, and these things are reaching the University of Miami.
So if I could just mention our great guys with the TV, they put up a couple of pictures of Yormark, but it was actually Brett Yormark, because it was standing next to the Big 12 championship trophy.
Twin brothers.
But they're identical twins. But here's the thing, like, I'm pointing that out, but like, does it even matter? They're totally identical. It's like does it even matter if you put up Brett Yormark? They're the same.
There's an example, like Brett Yormark. I think like 2 weeks ago, the Texas Tech head football coach came out publicly and was like, I don't want to be playing these Friday night games. And Brett Yormark came out, as a Yormark does, and belittled Texas Tech's head coach, saying that he's not in charge here.
And the boosters too, I think he mentioned.
Yeah, he's done this, and that's the big personality, and maybe that draws. I do think people often confuse alpha behavior with guys that can just end up being jerks. And when I was at the Florida Panthers for 2 years, again, this was 20 years ago, Michael Yormark was a jerk to people, and he wasn't a good businessman. So I don't really know what we're doing here.
And I'll just say it, and we could put a nice bow on this today, and then we could reconvene on Monday, which will be day 8 of keep Michael Yormark the hell away from the University of Miami. But he should just take his name out of the running. Like Michael Yormark, you should take your name out of the running. No one wants you here. No one wants you back in South Florida.
He also looks very much like he would be well-suited to play an adversary of Murtaugh and Riggs, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He looks like somebody they would have crossed paths with at some point.
Yeah, you wear a mock turtleneck that often, you fit that bill.
Jeremy, I'm going to give you a chance here to shine, all right?
Ooh.
You must be excited for this weekend, because the Marlins are hosting the Phillies this weekend. Marlins coming off of a series victory over the Dodgers.
That's right.
But the Marlins hosting the Phillies this weekend, who are now managed by Don Mattingly.
Yeah, Donnie Baseball. A little bit of Nepo Daddy situation.
Reverse nepotism, I'd call it.
Yeah.
Reverse nepotism.
He hired his dad.
Preston Mattingly, not Don Mattingly's dad.
That's just nepotism, I believe. I don't think that's reverse nepotism. I think nepotism is a catch-all. It doesn't, even though in your
but when
respect,
you go up the chain, I think it's reverse.
No, I mean, we've seen this with Lane Kiffin and Monty Kiffin. I don't think it's reverse nepotism. It's just nepotism.
It's up the chain.
Huh.
Hey, you're up there. I'm hiring you. Reverse. Down. Normal.
Dave, is that reverse, or is that just nepotism? That's interesting. I haven't thought about
Donnie
that.
Baseball works hard for the record.
When you go back into the family lineage, right? Is that reverse? I don't know. Let's just get. I'm with Mike Ryan. We have enough to.
It's all just
confuse our
nepotism
brains these days.
Well, either way,
let's just go with nepotism.
Preston
I'm
Mattingly
gonna
is
go
the
with that.
general manager. That's Don Mattingly's son. And so Don Mattingly was one of the, like, a bench coach with Philadelphia. When they fired Rob Thompson, he becomes the manager, thus his son hiring him. Either way, they had offered the job to Alex Cora before they had Don Mattingly step in anyway. But they're 3-0 in the Donnie Baseball era in Philadelphia. They were 9-19.
I always liked
before
Don
that.
Mattingly. I was always a big fan.
Awesome guy. And really, like I said it on the pitch clock yesterday, but the perfect type of manager for a veteran team like Philly that just needed someone to go, hey, long season ahead of us. But they're playing good baseball. They walked off twice yesterday. First team in 22 years to walk off twice in the same day on both games of their doubleheader against the Giants. And now they come in playing pretty good ball. It's a 4-game set, start of a 10-game homestand for the Marlins, who are 4 over 500 down here thus far this season. Tonight, Star Wars Day, Yacht Rock Sunday. Huh? Can I entice any of you to come out to the ballpark?
I love Yacht
So
Rock.
they're not doing
on the boat.
They don't have a game on May the 4th?
They do, but it's Monday, and I don't know. They're doing it today.
When do you think is the last time someone said, Yacht Rock? Huh?
Hey, man, if you don't like Yacht Rock, that's your loss.
It did have a huge resurgence.
You like Yacht Rock?
No.
Nah,
What?
Gen
What do
Z
you
loves
mean?
Yacht Rock.
Yeah, there's Yacht Rock.
You love all
parties,
this other
so-
bad rock. Why don't you like Yacht Rock?
I like Yacht Rock.
What the hell is Yacht Rock?
You
Stuff
kidding?
you listen to on the yacht.
Is that like
Christopher
Matchbox
Cross?
20? Is that?
I don't know.
Matchbox
Once
20.
they
No,
folded
Matchbox
in,
20.
once they
No,
folded
come on.
in,
That's
they
Dad
got a
Rock.
big win by getting to claim Steely Dan. Did
Yeah.
the Yacht Rock community. Either way, what's the weirdest name for a baby out of the little conversation that Jeremy just had there? Is it Preston? That's a weird name for a baby.
Wolverine.
Maybe as a grown man, you can get away with it. But or is it Don? Don. What's that little sweetie's name? Don. Donald. Don.
like a
Donnie.
great name.
Weird. Or is it Jeremy? Jeremy is kind of not. I'm not. No insult
Go on.
here.
We're
Weird
going to
name
lock
for
in
a
our
baby.
answers. It's
Weird
Preston.
name for a baby and for a grown up. Am I right? Like if you were
A
Jeremy
baby named
Taché,
Jeremy.
would you be like,
Hey,
would-
Dave,
like
what the
Jeremy
fuck?
Taché and Stephen A does like, no, I'm not Steve. Please, it's Stephen A. So if somebody were to meet like, oh, hi, Jerry, how are you? Like, no, I'm not Jerry. I'm Jeremy. Is that the way everybody else in the room would go?
Or Jerome.
What the fuck is happening right now?
I was going to say Preston, but he did make a compelling case. I now think it's a weird name.
Jeremy,
No,
baby.
no,
Like,
no.
hey, look,
There's
baby,
a,
that's cool.
there's a
Jeremy.
Pearl Jam song, Zaz. Back me up, dude.
Yeah, you don't want to be that Jeremy.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that Jeremy.
What do you say?
You don't want to know what that Jeremy said.
He spoke in class.
He spoke in class.
I'm speaking on the show with Dave. Relax, bro.
Did that put a stink?
Back
did
up.
that put a stink on you, Taché, when you were growing up? The Pearl Jam song. Did people invoke that around you?
No, it came out before I was born, so I didn't have kids bullying me for a Pearl Jam song.
That's always a good counterpunch. Remind somebody.
Would you
that they're
go with
old.
Jerry if you were Taché, Mike Ryan? Would you be like, no, please call me Jerry?
I like the name Jeremy. If I had a son, Jeremy would be in the running. But
thanks.
that was prior to meeting.
You would
Jeremy
name him after
Taché.
Jeremy Taché?
No, I would name him after Jeremy Shockey.
Touche.
That's shocking.
I would go with Jeeves. Just destined to be a butler.
I haven't met a Preston.
Preston Wilson?
I haven't met a Preston.
Coming up today on the Alley Oop, I make a case for the Sixers. Hopefully they didn't lose last night. As well as everybody is on notice that Şengün is aggravating as hell. Now the king has even spoken.
Also, you do not want to miss my 15-minute rant about why Klay Thompson deserves just as much smoke as Megan Thee Stallion, and they're both hoes. Lock in. We went off in the full episode.
Man, this full conversation was one for the books, bruh.
Jeremy leads off the show talking about why he likes to listen to sad songs. And then he gave us like a list of sad songs, and then Roy said all of his sad songs were from 1970.
I do love sad songs.
What was your sad song?
I have a few.
Don't give it.
No,
That's on the show
don't
today.
spoil it.
That's on the show today. Plus, Rose gives us her top 5 with OLI biopics, of which I want you to pay very close attention to and actually figure out how many of those are biopics.
And also an inside story that has never been told.
Yeah, and we also debate who Dan would be most likely to not answer when they FaceTimed him. I said that awkwardly.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
you
okay.
did. Yeah, but you
It's
tried.
okay. You came in halfway through the show and kind of messed it up,
Yeah.
but you caught up at the end and then messed up the promo. But it's
Mystery-
okay.
It's Mystery Crate.
Yeah, do it again.
Finish strong. One more time.
It's Mystery Crate.
Do that.
Next up, DLS favorite Brad Williams.
Now, Dan, imagine what you just experienced being a 6-foot whatever man. Now put that in a 4-foot man as I'm trying to cross the street last night, looking at certain puddles going, this could be it. This could be where I go because the water was moving very fast. I forgot my floaties. I can't swim. I have a very large head that sinks. I have a very fat butt that floats. That's not good for swimming. I'm very nervous. Florida is not a good climate for me.
He instantly goes upside down.
I do. I turn into a fly girl in a club, just face down, ass up. Like, that's me. Instantly in a puddle. Here lies Brad, killed by puddle. That could happen.
Brad Williams makes me laugh all the time, but rarely as much as when he's greeting Mike Golick and they are doing that shoulder handshake, and Mike Golick has to get down and Brad Williams has to climb up. Why didn't you just go in for a straight handshake
Because
to say hello?
because then I nut tap him. Because if I go straight handshake, there's the possibility. And by the way, how much, Gojo, were you just holding back? You're like, if I go full shoulder into this guy, he may evaporate into Skittles.
I was more thinking on if I went to pull in, because we went the dap with the hug.
Yeah.
And so there's that pull in the middle, and I was like, are we going to airlift Brad right now? Is this going to end up being like a swinging situation?
Did you go football mentality? Low man wins. I'm not going to let this guy beat me.
That is true. I thought about just getting all the way down. We were gonna...
You got down pretty low. I thought you were going to throw out your back.
I was Jason Kelsey tush push stats trying to get down on all fours there. It was good.
And now I'm realizing that I missed my calling as an O lineman.
God, could you
Low
imagine?
man wins.
Brad Williams led tush push, unstoppable.
Well, not only was it funny because visually that was funny, you were also interrupting a story of Brad Williams kicking a one-legged man out of his last show. That's the story that you interrupted.
I did. I did. There is no love lost between people who share parking in the handicapped space. He was gone. Get out of my show, sir.
Now, did you know he was one-legged before you kicked him out?
I did not. I did not.
So when he gets up.
I was in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and where all the one-legged people hang out. And the guy was talking way too much. And it's the worst kind of heckler to me. I will gladly take a heckler that yells out "F you" more than a guy that loves me but is just talking too loud and commenting on every joke and be like, "That's so true when you did that." Like, God damn it.
That's a great joke, Brad Williams.
Yeah,
that's great. You're killing it, Brad.
That's what I'm doing. It's like he's encouraging me, but it's like your mom clapping too loud in the stands. Like, "Mom, shut up! I can do this." And so I talked to him. He's like, "Hey, I paid good money to get in here," and I like, "Dude, you gotta shut up." And I finally had to kick him out. So he stands up and he does the walk, and when he walks, the pant leg goes up, and I see the shiny metal underneath, and I'm like, oh no, no. And I kind of, and then because I can't filter thoughts, I go, you have one leg, sir?
Oh, so you just decided to play with the cards up.
Let's go. And then he turns and goes, yep. And I was like, am I kicking out a soldier? Did you serve? And he goes, "Nah, car accident." And I'm like, okay, get like, if it's a soldier, then yeah. But I actually kept talking to him, and then because I felt bad, I invited him.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Wow.
What's that song from Pearl Jam's like, yeah?
That's all of them. It's all of them. It's every one of them.
Yeah.
I think that's Creed actually.
No, that's not.
No, same
Creed
thing.
was a ripoff of
Who's today?
a heavily inspired
Yeah,
by.
no.
Yeah.
Just hurling insults.
Yeah.
on a
Seems my
Friday
life.
morning.
On a train.
John Zaslow.
Now that's a good song.
Oh, we have that. I
love
don't wanna
that
get
one.
things.
Is that the same one I'm-
Dave, have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard the Pearl Jam hit John Zaslow?
I haven't, but can I be honest with you? I'm a little down in the dumps, and I don't know if I'm really spiritually ready to press
Is it
forward.
because
here
your
after the
fleggling
attack.
hockey franchise once again failed?
Well, I mean that's silly, and I don't.
Is it
think
'cause you hurt my
want to
feelings?
live life in the rear view. No, well, listen. No, my wife just hurt my feelings. I mean, I just during the break, I left here and I went into the kitchen where I met my wife, who just got out of bed apparently, and she said, I could hear you through the floor, yelling while I was asleep. In fact, it awoke me from my slumber, and she said, I just had a dream about a goose. I was dreaming about a goose, and I woke up and I realized, no, it was just your voice going, meh, 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 meh. That's all I could hear through the floor. That's my lover. That's the woman with whom I lay bare. And she's comparing me to a goose.
Yeah.
I put myself on top of that woman on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
She on top of me. And she just compared me to a goose. I don't know.
She must hate Fridays.
I'm
huh?
shocked that's the first time.
Talk about Pearl Jam all you want. Meh, meh.
Love that song.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna make you feel any better here because I do want to know how you experienced 2 nights ago, Dave. As a huge Pittsburgh Penguins fan, you were out on them. You didn't even like hockey anymore. It was not an important sport when the Penguins were down 3-0. But then they win the next 2, and they're a road win. They're a goal away from forcing a Game 7 back in Pittsburgh. So I would imagine that they sucked you right back in. So how did you experience the sudden death to your season?
Listen, we like to have fun. And yes, I like to puff my chest out about championships won in the past, but they are getting, let's be honest here, a little far in the rear view mirror for me. But maybe it's a rationalization on my part. Something that's happened to me in the last decade, maybe 15 years, is some of my favorite seasons are watching a team that I know has no chance of winning the title. That's what happened with these Pittsburgh Penguins. The achievement was making the playoffs. They were supposed to be among the worst teams, if not the worst team in all the NHL. Roy knows what I'm talking about. And so they exceeded expectation. This was a borderline miraculous run given the collective thoughts about how good or how bad this team was going to be. All that being said, down 0-3, who gives a crap? The hated Flyers. Let's turn the page to baseball, except then I have to watch the Pirates, so then that slowed me down a little bit. But when they got it to 3-2, I started to entertain. It would mean as much to me to rally from down 0-3.
Because you hate Philly.
To hate against the hated Philadelphia Flyers, especially. If they could put that level of shame and pain on Philadelphia, it would have tickled me something. And I think really at that point, if that would have happened, the Flyers would have just had to fold up shop and no longer be an organization anymore.
Wow, they would have contracted.
Well, no, I don't know about that. I think as an empathetic organization in the same state, maybe the Penguins might have absorbed them, sort of like the Stugotz back in WW2. Maybe we could have done them a solid like that, but there would be no coming back from that as a Flyers fan. I mean, as it was, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that the Penguins deserve to win or any of that, but they dominated. Not just the overtime, but really they
did
the much better of the play for literally like the last 4 games of the series, and it just didn't lead to victory. And so I'm bummed out, but I can temper my sorrow there by recognizing what I knew before the playoffs started. They weren't going to beat the Carolina Hurricanes anyway. I just would have loved for them to have vanquished the Philadelphia Flyers and disgraced them. Instead, I'll just say this. I'm a goose. From my lady love, the mother of my children. She compared me to a bird.
The woman you lay bare with.
That's the one. That's the one.
So it's a good reminder of what's at stake in tonight with the Rockets and the Lakers, where the Lakers are going to try and close out Houston in a Game 6 and avoid a Game 7 in a series that they led 3-0. Now, can we take an unbiased, like no one here is a Laker fan, no one here is a Rocket fan. I would assume everyone is rooting for the Rockets to win tonight because you want a Game 7.
Oh, yeah, totally unbiased.
Who doesn't want a Game 7?
Everybody here is totally unbiased.
This
when
is
it
an
comes to LeBron.
unbiased room when it comes to LeBron, all right? This is Miami.
That's 2 words in sports.
He plays in L.A. This is an unbiased room, all right? But while everyone is going to be rooting for a Game 7, because who the hell doesn't root for a Game 7, are we all rooting for LeBron and the Lakers, but really LeBron above all else? LeBron to be the one, not the rest of the team, not Austin Reeves, not Luka, not Huchimara, Tony.
Thank you.
LeBron. Are we rooting for LeBron to be the first ever to blow a 3-0 lead in the history of the National Basketball Association?
The only rooting interest that I have is wanting to see a Game 7 and see LeBron in a Game 7 spot with the weight of that on him. We've seen LeBron in go-home situations in Boston. I was actually watching highlights of that because that's what dudes do. Sometimes they get back to the RV after a late night of drinking, and they want to watch highlights of Game 6 in Boston where LeBron James put the franchise on his back.
The blueprint.
That's what they like to do sometimes, these dudes.
You know what that, Dave?
I want to see Game 7, LeBron with that on the line because it will always be attached to his legacy. Not quite the same way that coming back from down 3-1 is attached to his legacy. That won a championship for Cleveland. But every time there is like one of these Michael Jordan, Buck guys, or any LeBron hater, anytime you mention 3-1 and the chase down block, there's going to be some guy over there or gal that's going to be like, but he also blew a 3-0. I'm curious to see how sports plays out. I don't know what I want. And sometimes I like just sitting in front of the TV on my couch and letting the game tell me what I'm going to start rooting for.
If I can put a meager hypothetical out there, what if, a la Willis Reed, out trots number 77? Does LeBron get the credit having Luka back in the game if they win a Game 7 against the Rockets with Luka there?
I'm not sure what that because
I don't know if the chances of that are low.
Complicated too. Like, will it be remembered depending on how he plays? Like, Luka bailed you out here.
He gave them the 3-0 lead.
I like
single-handedly.
What I was about to say, I like this. In fact, it's the exact opposite. What I hate is that.
Hold on, you meant to say what you hate is, but you almost said what you like is?
I was being snarky about the fact that the advanced analytics people have kind of won the conversation because it is in my head like, well, one series is going to define LeBron James. To a certain degree, yes, that is the answer. It will define him. Dan said before the series started, if LeBron pulls this off, it's his greatest chapter of his career, and I don't think that's really all that hyperbolic to say. So what's the other side of that? Blowing an 0-3 lead would also dent his legacy too. And people say that he's a 40-something-year-old man, and he's so many great moments, and you're going to reduce it to that somehow impact. Yes, again, these playoffs are everything to the legacies of these guys. And the people who like to do math and apply it to sports, go off and do it with some other matter, not with sports. Singular moments, whether you think it's fair or not, are everything in sports, and they define who the best of the best are. Not who the all-stars are, who the icons for all of time are. So it does matter if LeBron blows an 0-3 lead, because you know who never did? Michael Jordan, and that's who he's compared to.
The Rockets are a 3.5-point favorite tonight at home against the Lakers. When the Rockets win tonight, which I think they will, when the Rockets win tonight, the conversation, the 48 hours leading up to Sunday, it's going to be incredible. It doesn't happen very often that you have a team come back from 3-0 and force a Game 7. It's happened a few times. I think maybe like 3 or 4 times that team did not win Game 7.
Correct.
But
it didn't just never happen to Michael Jordan. It's never happened to anybody.
Right.
And you're talking about LeBron James, the face
Right.
of this basketball generation, with the Los Angeles Lakers, a crown jewel franchise. I can't even imagine what the narrative is going to be throughout the weekend.
It's the most, I get that it can kind of be sort of you can take shots at like this is the most sports talk radio kind of conversation to have, but really as a human being, LeBron bailed on Cleveland because he wanted a ring, and that's how he winds up winning them for you guys before he goes out to LA, and who knows how he'll finish off his career. But it does matter that if we go all the way back to the all-time Miami icon, Dan Marino, that it's as though we're expected to ignore the fact or to pretend as though that in the first paragraph of his bio includes like never won a Super Bowl. So would you, if you are, how incented would you be? And ring culture is not a new phenomenon as much as people want to make it that. It's always mattered who wins the titles. That's why we know who they are, because they endure through the generation onto where we sit now. Do you guys think you would be like, I like this town. I'm Connor McDavid. I got to get out of here, man. I got to go somewhere where I can have a title, or otherwise that will always come up for the rest of my life. How say you?
I mean, you look at a guy like Mike Trout who doesn't feel that way at all. Like, there are some dudes who, being happy with their life is the most important thing. Like, and that doesn't mean that they don't care about winning a championship, but just being happy with life is the most important thing.
Joe Mauer signed with the Minnesota Twins because he liked being in the Twin Cities, and it cost him a championship. But how about you?
I think being happy with my life is the most important thing. I want to win, of course, but if I'm happy with where I live, I'm happy with my teammates, I'm happy with my family's current setup, I'm happy with how much money I make, that's going to mean more to me than going somewhere and not definitely winning a championship, but all it is trying to win a championship.
Well, but the other side of that is, as you know, from having bounced off these guys, you know, we're all competitive to a degree. The difference between Michael Jordan and other all-star level talents in the NBA is, I mean, like that. People, in fact, praise it all the time. Like, boy, Kobe, and he's a killer, man. Like, yeah, in any other walk of life away from sports, that guy's an asshole. Like, it's like, yeah, it's too much. Settle down, man. Like, he wants to beat you at Tiddlywinks. Like, I don't know anybody who plays Tiddlywinks, but that's always the one they bring up. If it's ping pong, he wants to win. He'll kill you to win at ping pong. Like, all right, if you grew up in the neighborhood with one of those guys and everybody did, that guy was an asshole. It's like, chill out, man. Chill out. Would you, Jerry or Jeremy? Either way. So that has to, like, if you're Connor McDavid, he understands right now as he's sitting up in Edmonton right now thinking, like, is this really going to happen? Like, if I don't get out of Edmonton, I'm never going to win a title. And am I okay with that? Is it more important to me to wear the big oil sweater for the entirety of my career? I think I might be cool with that, but I'm not as hyper competitive as those cats are.
I'm sure all of them there in Edmonton are handling this situation very, very well, very, very maturely, as the Oilers and Connor McDavid were eliminated last night. But the NBA, we had 2 series end, and we had a Game 7 confirmed, that one being Sixers and Celtics. And I would make the case that all 3 of those games last night were shockers. I mean, obviously the Knicks winning by 51. The score at one point was 72-22. I checked my phone during the Guns N' Roses concert last night.
I thought it was a glitch.
It said 72-22. Like, how is that real? And did you see, I think it was the Spittin' Chicklets account on Twitter where they tweeted out the score, and at the time it was 103-50. And the tweet said something like, great sport you got here.
What do they know?
I was wondering where you were going with Spittin' Chicklets with the basketball.
Right. Great, because that's an elimination game. Great sport you got here. Down by 53 at home, the Atlanta Hawks. But that was obviously shocking. The Sixers, I think you could say, it's shocking that they're going to Game 7. And the Wolves winning without Anthony Edwards, without Ayo Dosunmu, without
Good player, by the
Dante
way.
DiVincenzo.
Good player.
That they kicked the shit out of the Nuggets last night. That was shocking. Tony, the most surprising result from last night was what?
Timberwolves beating the Nuggets in a do-or-die game for Nikola Jokic, for his legacy, for what we think of him going now 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. Like, to lose to a team in the Timberwolves who don't have their best player, who don't have one of their most important guards, and another guy off the bench who's an electric scorer, to lose to Jaden McDaniels, who called you out by name, first name, last name.
Jokic got punked so hard. The whole Nuggets got punked so hard the entire
team,
series.
The entire series got punked from the jump. For Jaden McDaniels, who, by the way, legend is born, star is born right now. Jaden McDaniels, you're watching the evolution of somebody who 4, 5, 6 years down the road is going to be like, oh, that guy's kind of a superstar, which is a crazy thing to think about when they really put this Wolves team together. But 30-10 last night for Jaden McDaniels. He talked his thing. He backed it up. He sent Nikola Jokic back home. I thought, to me, that was the result where I was looking around saying, oh, my God, I cannot believe now we're going to have to do an autopsy of the Denver Nuggets and their run for the last 5 years.
There's legacy stuff everywhere in this series because not only do you have the Nuggets side where people are doing a Nikola Jokic team has never beaten a team with more than 50 wins
I
in the
saw that
playoffs,
yesterday, and I didn't know that.
which is pretty wild. They
Like,
beat
you look at the teams they beat in 2023, capped off by winning the finals against a 44-win team.
Right.
The Miami Heat.
Right. It's crazy, and that Miami Heat team, like their best player was hobbled and wasn't himself. Like you look at that side of it. That's one thing, and the future of that team with the Christian Brown contract coming up and what they're going to do to fix things. But you look at Minnesota. Jaden McDaniels, who you mentioned, is emerging in a way where now
He won't be a star for 6 years, though, according to Tony.
No, but
I
if
said
you-
we're going to look back 6 years and be like, he's a superstar now.
Yeah, and whether he turns into a superstar, go-to number one guy or not, now you look at your future built around him as the wing for Anthony Edwards as your star, and you have these two emerging in their own version of the like Jordan Pippen dynamic where Rudy Gobert is the anchor of that defense. And by the way, his legacy looks different after last night because that's now back-to-back years. It's twice where he has locked down Nikola Jokic, one of the greatest offensive players of all time, one of the greatest offensive big men of all time.
Dan said he's the greatest offensive player of all time.
Right, and that's how someone that is supposed to have respect in this business views Nikola Jokic. And Rudy Gobert has been a punchline for a huge portion of his career, right? No matter how many Defensive Player of the Years he's won, we've all sort of laughed at, he gets played off the floor in the playoffs. That's a huge moment for him. We were grouping his trade with Minnesota in with, the Desmond Bane trade or the Mikal Bridges trade. Like, not at all the same thing. That was a massive franchise-altering trade for them. It's put them as a franchise into a place they've never been before. They were a fledgling franchise. And now Rudy Gobert gets to cement himself in a place. Jaden McDaniels emerges in a fun way. They're going to be like America's team because of a lot of people rooting in some ways against Wemby and the Spurs.
They punked the Nuggets
It's
hard
great.
the whole series. They
It was
really
a great
did.
series.
Mike, you're angry with the Wolves now?
I'm really bummed because
Why?
I was looking forward to Joker versus Wemby. I thought that
That's a good reason to be angry. Yeah.
Look, Dave hasn't really been paying attention to the NBA, but I think he would have been all right with the two kaiju doing battle to see who could fight for the
You know about that kaiju, Dave?
to topple the OKC Thunder. And now we're not going to get that kind of series. And I was really worried because Minnesota presents so many problems for Denver that they would get in the way of Jokic versus Wemby. And they did. And I'm bummed for it because I don't think that series is going to be nearly as compelling had Denver been in there.
On top of that, like you look at the Denver team, or excuse me, the Minnesota team that Denver was facing, and 40% of their scoring was done by three guys who didn't play in the last game. Yeah. It's like,
is Edward, like, what's his current
they said
status?
multiple weeks with the knee injury, so we don't know if that means 4 or does that mean 2?
He's a guy who often bounces back pretty quickly. If it's 2 weeks, maybe you can pray that he's back for like game 4 of this series, but it's going to be tough to expect getting him back. The reality is like the Spurs should win this series in 4 or 5 games if he's not available. But what they just did to the Nuggets, like just attacking them, it makes you question everything their roster looks like. And they were without their 2 best defenders in Peyton Watson and Aaron Gordon. But you can't use that as an excuse when Minnesota is down not only Edwards, but also DiVincenzo.
Well, you mentioned there what it means for the rest of their roster. So give this a listen here. Nikola Jokic after the season-ending loss last night.
Where do you feel like this team is, in that bigger picture, and how far away or not far away do you feel like you guys are from being, a championship contender?
I mean, we just lost in the first round, so I think we are far away.
Do you feel like changes, or like what type of changes you feel like?
I mean, that's not my decision, to be honest. Definitely, if we're in Serbia, we will all get fired.
If we were in Serbia, we would all get fired. That was
just
his
to note.
response.
His arms do appear to be bleeding in that photo.
Yeah, you can see he's got cuts there. If we were in Serbia, we would all get fired. Like what country can we say that? Like if we were all in Canada, would they all get fired?
No, they love losers over there.
Canada lets that fly.
Yeah, hey, you gave it your best effort.
I mean, Knobloch's pretty fired, yeah?
Well, but that's a different sport. It's a different sport.
Well, but I mean, we're talking about mentality here.
No, I think we're talking about mentality, but basketball. Apparently in Serbia, basketball, very big deal. He's
Russia, definitely fired.
Wayne Gretzky fired the entire country of Canada and moved to Florida. And
You're very in on the Gretzky hates Canada.
Well, he does.
Angle. No, I understand, but like this is the second time you brought it up in the show. You're very in on that today.
Hey, he's backed it up. He's
a creep.
He's talked that crap to Wayne Gretzky at the Kimmel Show.
That is true. That is
That's
true.
right.
What about in France? Would the Nuggets all be fired in France?
Yeah, they love losers over there too.
Okay. All right. Denmark?
I think he's kind of saying fire our coach.
He
specifically said not to.
No.
Was
But then he's
Jokic
like,
being
in any
politically
other country.
correct?
Was he being politically
he,
correct,
though-
you ask?
Was he being politically correct by saying if it's in Serbia, everybody gets fired? Was he really saying, like, in Serbia, everybody gets executed for this?
Yeah, that's what
that's a good point.
That's what I was trying to read under and see what it was. Like in other places like that, you may not make it back.
I know he said, like, we shouldn't fire this guy, but then he was like, but, in proper basketball countries, they would.
It just makes me feel like they're in a position where he wants them to make changes to the roster. And that's going to be a tough thing for them to do because next year they have over $100 million committed to Aaron Gordon, who struggles to stay on the floor, Jamal Murray, who was god-awful in this series, and Christian Brown, who was worse.
Should we perhaps start throwing the question out there?
Ooh, I like this already.
Well, I didn't do this. I
Go
would
on.
have never mentioned him as a possible trade target until Kroenke came out and volunteered
Go on.
And we aren't living in a post-Luka world where superstars don't actually have to ask to be traded. One day they can end up on a different franchise.
That's right.
Like, they did this. They're the ones that opened the door for us to speculate as to whether or not Jokic might be able to be had in an acquisition.
All right, you send him Bam. Let's start with Bam.
Boom.
You send him
Tyler. And then a bunch of picks. Like, Bam has to be a part of it.
Bam.
Pele
Bam
Larson.
has to be a part of it.
Larson.
You'd give up Larson?
Well, I mean,
to get Jokic?
Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, please.
I'm
Jeremy.
obviously
please.
kidding. I'm obvious. Guys,
Good.
relax.
Better. Yeah.
Yeah. You also throw in Jovic, too. Just because you can
A similar
easily
name,
you can
yeah.
easily change that jersey if you're a Nuggets fan.
Right. That is an interesting way to look
and
at
9 firsts.
Given the advantages of both sports towns, who has underachieved more? Denver, which always claims, much like Tom Brady was a 6th-round draft pick or Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard, there is not a game that involves a Denver-based sports franchise where it is not invoked at some point like, the altitude is real high. It really impacts the visiting team. I know the loss was in one of the 2 Twin Cities last night, but either way, another Denver team that has this apparent ongoing advantage over all comers is the high altitude that they've adjusted to and no one else does. Then they should win every title if it's such an advantage to them. Or is it Miami, where everybody wants to live, allegedly? Everybody loves to be down in Miami. Shouldn't they be able to lure more people than all you guys in the row? Giannis should be here, and this guy, Jokic, should now be here. Everybody, if it weren't for LeBron, which I can't get a good read on whether or not after the whole thing is said and done, if you like the LeBron experience or not.
This is an unbiased room here, all right?
Yeah, we didn't
Very
like it.
unbiased.
Okay, do you
We loved
like
it.
him or no? You like LeBron, right? But
Yes.
if it weren't for
No.
LeBron moving down there, then you are basically like Bill Walton in Portland kind of thing. Like, yeah, we won that one title. a while ago. I mean, that's our claim to fame, is that we won a title 20-something years ago. It was a
Wait,
special season
what
for
are you
it.
doing?
But
when was the last
what
time
other
a Pittsburgh
what other
championship
claim?
was in your
What
city?
claim?
When was the last
What
time that happened?
What claim?
What, are you
would-
claiming the
would-
Rams
would,
now, huh?
Miami have to, like, you know where Jokic should be with us? Doesn't he want to be with us?
That's
Like,
right.
Shouldn't everybody want to be down in Miami?
Yeah.
But teams don't land there because of the Miami Heat experience, apparently, right? Why isn't everybody clamoring to get down there, in other words?
They're on their
Same
way.
goes for the Marlins.
Well, the Marlins I can't really speak to.
Tua seemed to want to leave.
Look, the
No,
Marlins have
we
Liam
broke
Hicks.
up with him. He didn't break up with us.
Marlins have Liam Hicks. That's star power. All right. So don't you tell me anything else.
Hey, another destination supposedly that people desire, although I hear a lot of bad things in the news about what other Americans think about Southern California. Either way, a guy in Southern California, an old pal of mine, David Vassay, who does Dodgers talk and all the stuff. He travels with the team and all of that. He's essentially their beat reporter. He said, I caught him on the radio last night saying about the Marlins that he's like, well, it's embarrassing that the Dodgers lost 2 or 3 to the Marlins, but you have to keep in mind that was their World Series. How does that hit you? Does that hurt your feelings to hear that?
It's sour grapes, man. Like the Marlins. The Marlins over
sour grapes.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's sour grapes.
They lost 2 out of 3.
Dodgers analyst
to a team with like a fourth, sixth of the payroll, and they've maximized what they're doing. Clayton McCullough is a former Dodgers coach. Like, he's doing a solid job down here, and they've turned themselves into a really competitive team.
I got to tell you,
I think it's ridiculous to phrase it that way. It's a 162-game season.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous, too, because I don't think baseball works that way. You know, like, I think you could say that in the NBA. Hey, the Thunder, they're the champs, so they're getting everyone's best shot every single night. In hockey, the Panthers, they're the champs, they're getting everyone's best shot every single night. And there can be nights where you're putting forth more effort in those sports. We can say it in football too, but in baseball, if you're not putting forth maximum effort every night, it's such a hard sport. You'll get embarrassed out there.
Yeah.
Like you can't, I'm going to loaf it today because this team sucks. All right, well, you're going to look really bad if that happens. I don't feel there's as much a fluctuation in effort level depending on who you're playing in Major League Baseball. Does that make sense, Dave?
Yes, it does, and that's why I bellyache on and on about the baseball playoffs having too many rounds and too many teams in them, because inherently, I mean, like, one size doesn't fit all. Because it works in the NBA doesn't mean that baseball has to adopt it. I mean, obviously the North Star of all of these things is gate and TV, is ad sales and all of that, and that's what motivates baseball to keep throwing in more and more postseason rounds. But inherently, the difference in baseball between the best and the worst is a lot closer than it is in basketball. If the best NBA team plays the worst one in 10 best of 7 series, it would be stunning if the bad team won even won 3 games in any of those series. In baseball, the worst team in a best of 7 series would beat the best. Like, the Dodgers would lose a best of 7 series to whatever, the Colorado Rockies or shame the devil, the Florida Panthers, because of the nature of the sport.
Marlins.
I don't know that happens often. Like, when you look at best of 7, that normally evens
No, but you
things
can.
out.
You
It's
can.
possible. It's possible, but more likely than not, you're going to have the best team get there.
You think the better team will win?
It's like the Dodgers have won back-to-back World Series for a reason. They've had their weaknesses, but they've been the best
But
team
the
in
Braves
baseball.
didn't. But the 90s Braves, I get what you're saying. Yes, that did win out, and that sort of I mean, the best thing for the NBA right now to sort of go back and forth is Wemby winning it this year, and if not,
no.
then OKC, because what you want is the suggestion that these playoffs make sense, is that at the end of it, it's like, okay, I can let the Celtics are a great team. They're in the midst of something here. OKC is in the midst of something, or the burgeoning star is now ready to take over the sport. Those are narratives you can get behind for the credibility of the season and the postseason and all of that. I think the worst thing for it is it's exciting in the minute, in the moment. But I think what damages sports more than anything is when you get too many underdog stories breaking through. The alleged underdog, when everybody, it's what Syndrome says in The Incredibles. When everyone is super, no one is.
Great villain. Great movie. Great
You
villain.
kind of look like him if you had hair.
All right, take it easy, all right?
That Goose is back at it.
I want to get to the other games last night, all right? And specifically, the Sixers forced Game 7 last night. Of course they did, because did the Celtics shoot the three well? No? Oh, then they lost, all right? It's the dullest team. And so, and now Jason Tatum left the game early. His foot, not the one that he had the Achilles tear, but the other one, there's a little bit of an issue there, so that's something to look for Game 7. The Heat fan obviously remembers back in 2023, Jason Tatum, he got hurt in Game 7. The Heat won the game. They're going to win anyway. Caleb Martin was the best player on the floor. But the Sixers last night, they forced Game 7, 106-93. I don't think I'm being hyperbolic. And Embiid wasn't great last night. He was 6 of 18 from the floor, but still, lots of rebounds, lots of assists. He was the best player on the floor in Game 5, for sure, all right? And I actually think it bodes well for Philadelphia that Embiid wasn't so great yesterday, because you can't possibly expect him then to put together 3 great playoff games in a row. So I actually think it's a good thing that he didn't play so great last night. Am I being hyperbolic when I say I think Game 7 in Boston, who, by the way, has not lost to Philadelphia in the postseason since 1982. And it's not like they've only played a couple times. They've played dozens of times. I think that Game 7 in Boston, even though it's first round for Embiid, considering, who he is now in the regular season, considering he missed the first few games this series, I think it's potentially a pretty big legacy game for Joel Embiid. If they can come back from a 3, considering his history, he has not been a big-time player in big-time games. He's never been out of the second round, and I get it that this is just the first round. But against this Boston team, coming back from 3 games to 1, it's in Boston. If Embiid has a great game, if he's the best player on the floor, the Sixers will win. If Embiid has a great game and the Sixers win, I think I don't think I'm being hyperbolic when I say I think it's a pretty large game for Embiid's
It's
career.
huge. It's huge, Zaz, because we've talked about the litany of injuries that he's had play in and play off. The face, the Bell's palsy, the knee, the appendectomy. Like, there's always something in his way during the playoffs, and he can't really put things together. What I think of is the bounce from Kawhi Leonard, right? Like, that's another part where I'm like, oh, another thing that happened to Joel Embiid. Like, if he steps up and plays the way that he played a couple of games ago, like, this is a team that is very, very interesting. PG looked great last night. Maxi's their best player, to be honest, and I'm going to keep, banging that drum. VJ Edgecombe's a great wing. Quentin Grimes plays well. Oubre plays well in roles. Like, this team has a lot of facets to it where you're like, oh, wait a second. Like, this team could make a run in the East, especially slaying Boston, who we thought was the best team all season. And then all of a sudden they got Jason Tatum back, and everybody's like, oh, wow, okay, Celtics going to the finals.
Yeah, like looking at both Eastern Conference games last night, if you would have said to me, which road team is it more important for them to close out the series so they don't have to play a Game 7? We know the Knicks, they won. They don't have to do that. The Celtics, they didn't. So they do have to do that. I felt that it was more important for the Celtics to close out this series. Like, I would have had total faith still in New York in a Game 7 in Madison Square Garden. But the Celtics, I think the Celtics are potentially in a lot of trouble because, like I said, if Embiid is the best player on the floor, which if everything's equal and he's 100%, he is the best player on the floor almost every night, whoever they're playing. And the Celtics, if they don't shoot the 3 well, which they did not in Game 2, they did not in Game 5, they did not in Game 6, they lose. And there's not a whole lot of rhyme or reason to it sometimes. If they don't shoot the 3 well, they will lose. It doesn't matter if the game is in Boston.
And they kind of play better on the road than they do at home, which is another crazy stat.
Tim Tebow's
Well,
speech time.
and
I will not let Boston get away with it.
Nope.
I will not. I will not. I will not let them sleep. I will not let them say, well, at least we won a title, because I will be right there to remind them that the time that they won the title, they went through an entire playoff run where every series they went against opposition that lost their best player due to injury. All right? We start bringing that championship into the light, and it starts looking real funny for Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Joe Mazzulla.
What is, though, to Tony's point, I think more practically, and you talk about legacy and all of that, Zaz, which is fair, but practically, I feel like the survivor of Sixers Celts or the Knickerbockers is the answer to who's going to represent the East, right? So practically speaking, what it does for Embiid. Well, but right, if Embiid survives this one, I mean, he has a practical great chance, about as good a chance as he'll have in his career, to get to the finals through the East, right? Because it's only the Knickerbockers that will pose a challenge to whoever gets through this round one series, right?
I mean, yes, I agree. I mean, they would still have to beat the Knicks next round, but then they don't have to, like, they would face maybe Toronto or Orlando, which is kind of crazy. If Toronto forces a Game 7, then you are guaranteed either Orlando or Toronto, potentially, if Orlando wins too, in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's kind of nutty, but I unless anybody has anything interesting about the Knicks' win last night, other than an unbelievably pathetic performance, obviously, from Atlanta, like, the Knicks are the best team in the East.
No, at this point, it seems as though they are, and that they're going to be able to make their way to the NBA Finals, unless, obviously, like, Boston just gets hot from three again. And that's the thing where, when Mike brings up the legacy of Tatum and Brown and Mazzulla, I think the thing that we can start to question if they don't win this Game 7, if they don't make adjustments to Philadelphia, is what kind of coach truly is Joe Mazzulla? Because you look at a guy who it was a front-running team that would get hot from three, like beat a bunch of teams, teams that were injured in that run through the finals. It was a bunch of blowout games facing teams that didn't have their stars until you got to Dallas, who had just gotten hot and made a run as a 5 seed. Right. This is a guy who does not adjust. It's, hey, go out and shoot threes, be more talented than the other guys. And this would be 3 series. In 2023 when they lost to the Heat, last year to the Knicks, and now this year where they would have been giant favorites in a series and blown it, it would be a chance to question Joe Mazzulla and the type of coach he really is.
These are great words coming out of your mouth.
I'm hard.
Tell me you don't look like the guy from Incredibles.
Vegas legend, Carrot Top.
The man is a legend, and he's a legend in Vegas, where it's hard to be a legend. I've seen him. His face is ID to get into all the big places. And he's also, though, he's a Florida guy as well, and I think he should be a Panther fan because he grew up in Boca. So I don't know where he is, but I believe he's bigger than Wayne Newton now. He's more Vegas than Wayne Newton, and I'm not joking when I say comedy legend for 40 bleeping years. 40 bleeping years and still doing it 4 times a night in Vegas. You, Carrot Top, Mr. Top, are rooting for who in this series?
You can't say 40 bleeping years. It just doesn't sound cool. You know, you got to say 40 years. But, it's going to be really rough. This might be the hardest decision of my life, being from Boca. I think I performed at the Sunrise Musical Theater when I was young. But my roots, I mean, I'm in Vegas. They're listening to me right now. I'm here in Las Vegas, and it's tough. I got to be honest. I think my heart is a little more for Las Vegas.
What? No!
I know.
No!
I'm here
you
every night.
sell out. You sell out.
Are you cranking it before the game?
Yeah. You mean like drugs?
No, I mean the thing where you crank it and you get everybody hyped.
Hey, are you cranking it before? Yeah, man. No.
Have you ever cranked it?
Yes, they have. That's a personal question, but yes, I have cranked it. They gave me that twice. I've done it twice, and apparently Wayne Newton has beaten me by one crank. So
I was watching. I was at game 2, and I was watching.
I've got to catch up on crank. I got to catch up on a crank.
Wayne looks great.
Wayne looks like hell. What are you talking about? Be honest.
Come on, Karen, Tom.
No.
That's not enough.
No. I love Wayne. Seriously.
Then you can't take out the legend. What's the matter with you? But you are.
I love
You are more
Wayne.
Vegas. No, you are more Vegas than him, though. You are.
I helped. No, he's Mr. Vegas. I'm Mrs. Vegas. We changed one night. We were doing a video. And it's really hot, right? I looked over and Wayne Newton's hair was dripping. So I went over and I said, "You're dripping with what?" I said, "I got to fix your hair." And he looked back at me and I said, "It's just drip." It was like a little black,
Oh no.
dye was dripping. So I
That's not natural?
No, it's natural. It's just naturally dripping. It was naturally dripping.
Wait, I want to really.
I didn't let him sit there and drip. I thought I should probably step in.
But you have seen Hollywood melt away, vanity melt away, and so you had to laugh to yourself that symbol for Vegas excess, that his hair was dripping down his face.
Yeah, I know what to do. No one else was doing it. The makeup artist was like, "I'm not touching it." I'm like, "Someone fix Wayne Newton's hair." So I took over the.
I mean, you don't hate the Panthers though, because they keep getting
No.
No, but their fans
I love the
keep
Panthers. Love the Panthers. Great Americans. No, I love I don't know why I'm doing my Trump impression is the worst in the world, but I just go into it when you need to.
I think it's pretty good.
Oh, is it? Is it pretty good? That's pretty good.
I was telling Sasha Michelle Malia that Carrot Top does a really good Donald Trump.
Always been a fan of you, Obama. Always been a fan.
I wish we could say the same.
Hey, oh, come on, we gotta work together. Well, I love this game. It's very exciting though. Coming to 2-0. I mean, it's really this town's going crazy, as you know.
And they're getting
and
away.
Florida's probably going crazy too. Oh yeah. Are they talking that already?
They have you ever been to the arena? Because it's kind of where you went to community college. It's like in the Everglades.
I was curious as to where it was because
All right, look, it's Friday. We suppress his topics all throughout the week. Gets very excited, comes in the morning, and wants to talk about things that none of us want to hear. So, Jeremy, we're going to give you an opportunity here, but it's not free reign, all right?
It's a democracy.
Yeah, like you got 3 things, let's say, that you want to talk about.
All right.
We're not letting you talk about all 3. Honestly, I don't want to hear about any of them. But you're going to tell us which 3 you are most into, and we will vote. And we will.
Man, I think you guys are really
going
to like
for
these
one of them.
this week.
For one of them.
No, there's some really great stuff going on that I'm really fired up about.
All right, let's hear it. Number 1.
This weekend, Olivia Rodrigo, I mentioned her last week. She's hosting SNL, host and musical guest. It kicks off a really great 3-week run to finish out this season.
All right,
of
don't want to
SNL.
hear the whole thing. We're just hearing the topic. We're not
I know
you
what he's
talk about
doing.
it.
I know what he's doing.
Okay, so Olivia
You gotta
Rodrigo.
say the topic. Okay.
Yep.
All right, then in Broadway news, Evita is going to be transferring from the West End over to Broadway. Rachel Zegler, a star
Okay,
performer.
next.
No,
Those
check
are the
this out. No,
topics.
okay.
Next.
All right,
Topics.
and then lastly, speaking of Broadway star Derek Klena, now a Savannah Banana.
Wow. All right.
Which
So-
one will you choose?
There's
I got
some interesting
stuff on
stuff
Evita.
everywhere.
All right, so you're voting for Rachel Zegler and Evita?
Yeah. Well, I did appear in a stage production of Evita.
Okay.
Oh, I need to hear
Tony?
all about that.
I probably the Savannah Banana thing.
Yeah, I'd vote for that one. I've seen a couple clips of that. I saw him singing the one staring
All
through a
right,
window.
Savannah
song.
Banana is the leader in the clubhouse. Roy?
Yeah,
Waving
Savannah
through a
Banana.
But I did play choir boy number 7.
Dave,
Mike.
your vote counts too?
I'm going to go. Well, I know it does, Zaz. I don't know why you would couch it in that way.
Because you're in
So
LA,
that
so
was
we
the
don't
question
know.
if my vote counts. I don't understand why you even say it in that manner. It's a strange thing because it calls into question whether or not my vote should count. I don't understand the game. I don't know what you're getting at, Zaslow. But either way,
Please,
what I think what I'm hearing,
will you
Jerry.
bless a
Yes,
little
Jerry.
child?
See, that's hurtful. My wife's gonna love that. But you know what? Maybe she'll hate it because you know what? She has to take a look in the mirror. She's the one who chose to lay down next to me, and I didn't make that choice
Bear.
for her. That's a bear, right? Nude. Yeah, come on, nude. I think that if I'm reading between the lines, I think that Jerry Taché wants us to talk about Evita. I feel like that's where Jerry is the most excited. So let's talk about that.
I would actually like to hear about Evita as well. So is it 3-3? Savannah Bananas?
Let's
and
ask somebody
We can
out
do
there.
Evita. It's fine.
I'm praying for you, even though you're already blessed.
I couldn't have meant any less with my vote for Slade. I don't care. Just do the one you guys.
All right,
do.
Evita.
None of them. How about that?
Rachel Zegler. Go ahead, Jeremy. We're not giving you a ton of runway here, all right? We're going to let you get to the crux of what you want to talk about. Let's hear it.
Okay, so Rachel Zegler won the Olivier Award. It's an incredible production. One of the coolest moments of the entire show was when she would go out on the balcony on the West End and sing Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, a triumphant moment where all of these people walking the streets of London would get to see this character.
Is that where Michael Jackson held the baby?
It does look like it.
Bring that back up.
Time.
Look,
It's over.
That looked exactly like the Michael
All
Jackson
I was going to let you
building.
know is that it's transferring to Broadway, and with that, they can't do this iconic scene because of gun violence in America.
What? You know what? I think it's good that they can't do this scene because why should all those people on the street get to watch this performance
So this is
for
the whole
free?
premise of the
a
show.
bunch of freeloaders,
No, see,
and the people who are paying money in the theater, she walks outside for part of the show?
So they simulcast it into a screen on the theater, and the whole premise of this character is this leader that in Eva Perón that was sort of a controversial, but the first lady of
Leader who's
Argentina.
taking your money and not performing in
and
front
so
of
the
you.
whole premise of it was that she's one of the one for the people.
I get it.
And so the symbolism of being able to perform for the people that are there, while the people who are paying the high expensive tickets of going to one of these shows, these elitist cultural consumers have to just watch this projection of it onto the screen. It's a really beautiful moment.
I was wrong about the Michael Jackson thing. Clearly a different balcony. That's on
So
me.
they're going to have to figure out another way to do it. My suggestion, just project all of it onto all of the screens of Times Square.
There's Guatemalan Taché.
Zaslow brings up a fascinating point, though, which is like, do you, Zaz, are you against the people who sit up on the rooftops outside Wrigley and get to look in for free?
No, I mean, like, there's nothing that the Cubs can do about that. Like, they're not trying to perform for people who, don't pay for it. This actress, the show, is making a point of performing for people who are not paying.
I get you. So I hear your noise. What I resent more as a ticket buyer is at like Blue Man. Did you ever see that back in the 90s or whatever that was going on, or one of the Cirque du Soleils or whatever? What I don't like is when I pay top dollar to watch your show, I'm there to be a passive consumer of it. Don't try to drag me into your show. Like, come on, everybody. You might you're a part of the show. We'll call you up on stage whether you like it or not. Like, keep your hands off me. Yeah, I have no interest in that. I'm here to sit in the chair and watch you dance and do your flipping around to and fro. Don't drag me up here, Blue Man.
I went to Blue Man Group a couple years ago. I'd seen them a couple times. I went a couple years ago. We were sitting pretty close to the front of the theater, and in the first couple rows, you got to wear like a raincoat.
More than once you went? That's weirder than the 30 Pearl Jam shows by a lot.
Video team, let's get Zaz photoshopped as a member of the Blue Man Group.
That'll be easy.
Dave, I heard you talking a little bit about this before the show today, where you had a pretty terrible in-flight experience.
Yeah, well, I did actually, because I had such a glorious time on the banks of the Three Rivers, Pittsburgh, PA, representing itself, just beautifully. I think 100% positive reviews of the draft experience there. Sullied then as I made my figurative and literal return to the rest of the world. 30,000 feet in the sky. Grim reality seated next to me. The lady, they give out the little pretzels, and she had her little bag. And then
now you're sitting coach. You're sitting coach.
Obviously.
Well, why is it obvious? I don't know. A man of your
because
stature.
I'm a man of the people.
Now, are you sitting in the middle seat?
No. I go to great lengths. can I remember who the three people were? I once saw on a plane Rob Zombie. I was waiting for the flight.
He's
Imagine
short,
this.
huh?
Well, here's the thing that was striking to me. I don't know how this happened. A flight from Chicago to LA. 3 celebrities on the same flight. You know, they usually say if there's a big celebrity on the flight, you should feel safe because they very rarely go down, Buddy Holly notwithstanding. They say Rob Zombie, Sinbad, and Tom Green are all waiting for the same flight. All for the same flight.
Blunt rotation.
One of them was in coach in the dirty middle seat.
Oh, can we guess?
In the dirty middle seat. Who do you think it was?
Sinbad.
Tom Green.
How many years ago was this?
I'm going. Yeah, how many years ago matters?
Let's say 15. Let's
Okay.
say 15.
All right.
I'm going Tom Green.
It was Rob Zombie.
No,
But
he'd
he's
been the last
tiny.
one, I guess.
He's tiny, so he can fit in the middle seat.
Mr. Tough Guy, Mr. Rock and Roll is riding in the dirty hump. Ugh. But anyway,
I would
so-
not take a flight if the only seat left available for me was a middle seat. I wouldn't fly it.
What if you want, like, I've done that for standby flights.
Nah.
And where
I think
not for
if
me.
you're in the middle, you have some claim to, like, I think you have, people do the thing about who controls the window. Obviously, the person sitting next to it as raw as I can get. If I'm on the aisle, like, I'd really rather that window open. It is under your control, person seated there, and there's nothing I can rightly do about that. I feel like the middle person should, because they're riding hump, they should get some claim of dignity and otherwise and get to control the arm handles. And in fact, if they want to claim their elbow takes priority to your elbow on the shared armrest. But she was doing it in such a way that I was a little bit like, come on now, you're really consuming way too much armrest. But
was her elbow encroaching on your side?
I also don't like when somebody assumes, like, I'm just gonna leave it up. Like, we're not. You and I don't know each other.
No, you got.
I
If that person,
like the barrier.
You got to put it down. It's a barrier. You're right. You got to put it down.
I hate to be rigid like that, but why do I need it? Because of incidents like what I experienced. So we're post pretzel now, and she and I'm not exaggerating this for embellishment's sake. She, for 20 minutes this goes on. 20 minutes. She starts sticking every digit she's got into her maw to clear out whatever pretzel remnants. Now made I don't even her saliva combined with the remnants of this stale bread now stuck in her teeth, and she's yanking it out. Yeah, like that. Like Taché, like Jerry Taché apparently once did. And she's there, index finger.
My name is Jeremy!
There in the back. Then thumb on the roof of the mouth. Then a pinky to get in there. And after every single one, she punctuates it as though she's polishing off a lollipop and goes, every single time. The spit sound. And I really was becoming incredible, because I'm a delicate flower, I understand. But I was becoming increasingly nauseated. And I thought, I may have to vomit. And then I was like, where's the bag? That'll teach her. But I thought even better if I just vomited directly onto her shoes. How say you? Too much? What's the correct response to this? How about act like a human being? And then here's the thing. What I don't like is then I'm the bad guy. Now I'm the bad guy for that bothering me and being disgusted by that. Yeah. But she's the one who's running afoul of decency, right?
Well, she's obviously a disgusting person. But if I'm in your spot, like, there's nothing I can do about it, because I don't want to be in that weird, uncomfortable place for the remainder of the flight. You're literally stuck right next to her. It sucks. I wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, well, that's what Dumb Dave sometimes does. Sometimes Dumb Dave makes noises like or whatever, but also like I may have made more than one guttural sound of disgust.
Really?
After one of those, I went, ugh. like that.
Really?
I sometimes do that, and sometimes people hear that. I don't know. I feel like it's ambiguous enough that you might not, if you have guilty ears, if you know that this is a little gross what you're doing, you might hear that and realize, oh, people around me are noticing. This is gross what I'm doing.
It's
right
really
now.
disgusting.
And maybe it gets them into line. I don't know. What's the right move, Zaslow? You say, really? Like, what should I do? I just have to sit there and figuratively eat it?
No. You doing that is the right move. You saying something is the right move. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be able to do the right move. Like, I'm the one who's being soft in that spot by not doing anything. You totally should do something. I don't like the uncomfortableness of now being stuck next to that person, that disgusting person with this awkwardness for the remainder of the flight. That's on me, though. Like, I'm not doing the right thing in that spot.
Yeah, there were no good choices there is the bottom line, and it's on her. Thanks a lot, lady. Go sit with Rob Zombie, you know?
Mike, you are going next weekend to see the new Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Do you already have your tickets?
I do.
I am. This is Mortal Kombat, the second one. The first one came out, like 4, 5, 6 years ago, something like
2021,
that. 2021.
During the pandemic. It was one of those HBO Max initial releases.
Okay.
Yeah, and I loved it.
I liked it too.
I did a rewatch last night. Now, a couple things
holds up.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that the green screen stuff was so bad. But outside of that, Kung Lao and the fatality, amazing.
I'd like to watch it again.
But there is one thing that I think every Mortal Kombat fan who watched that movie and still found a way to enjoy it came away with the same opinion. Cole Young has to die, and immediately in this sequel.
Who is Cole Young?
He's the made-up character.
Oh, he was, the guy that came from Earth.
The bad MMA fighter.
Oh, I don't like that
guy.
The
tomato can MMA fighter
That's
that all of
stupid.
a sudden is killing Goro. Spoiler
Oh
alert.
yeah, Goro died so early in the first movie.
Yeah, it was bull. But in the second one, we actually get into the tournament allegedly because the first one.
And this guy Cole Young is in the second movie.
I am very encouraged by his poster placement. It's very low. It seems like he's been replaced as our main hero.
Well, Johnny Cage is the main guy.
Johnny Cage is
played by what's his name, Butcher from The Boys.
Cal Urban or
Carl Urban.
Carl
Yeah,
Urban.
Carl
yeah.
Urban.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. You know what I got for I have the boys want to see Mortal Kombat 2. It was a great flick. You love Mortal Kombat. You were raised on the video game. You know all the characters. What we're doing for this one, Zaz, is we're going 40X.
Oh, who cares?
Are you familiar with 40X?
No, but the way you describe it, it must be some fancy. They make you believe it's some fancy screen that it's going to be a completely different viewing experience. I don't care about
These are the chairs that move.
Oh, I have done that.
Yeah. These are the chairs
I almost
that
fell
move.
out one time.
You're in on this all of a sudden.
Yeah. So, the first time I did this,
I saw the Buzz Lightyear movie in that. I almost fell out of the chair. It was like a roller coaster.
I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for it. The first time I did it was for Mission Impossible, and the one that he's disavowed.
If you had fallen out of your chair and your boys were there, there's no coming back.
I almost
that, right?
fell out. I didn't
They
expect
never.
it.
There's no respect ever again for the old man. It's Zaslow.
He almost fell out of his chair yesterday.
We're finding that video right now.
We'll pull that video.
Dave, we got a nice one for you here.
So I wasn't familiar. I thought it all right, 40X. The first time I did 40X, it was because it was the only theater available, and I bought tickets, and I got to see Ethan Hunt be disavowed by the government.
Dead Reckoning?
When are you going to have the opportunity to? So we're going down the streets of Paris, right, in these cobblestones. And you know what I like to do at these fancy new movie theaters is I like to pour myself a nice little glass of wine and pair it with a bunch of crunch and elite pairing. And I was not prepared. I was spilling the wine all over me. And
right.
Now I've learned. And I've since seen Twister.
The seats
40X.
are no joke.
No, they move a lot.
Yeah.
And so I was like, guys, do we want to do this where we go watch Mortal Kombat 2, but it has to be 40X. That way we can feel every Liu Kang chicken kick. And so we're all on board. I'm going to dare everybody to wear white and order a glass of wine, and let's see who survives. Let's see who has a flawless victory.
Dave, this was yesterday when Zaz was finishing with his ear thing, and he tried to sit down on Roy's seat.
I mean, maybe. All right, everybody take it easy.
Whoa!
Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down.
No.
I mean, maybe. All right, everybody take it easy.
Whoa!
Everybody calm down.
Damn.
Everybody
Don't let him
calm
speak.
down.
No,
You're
done.
used to sitting in
You're
chairs.
done.
Come on.
I don't know what the big deal is, okay? I meant to sit down in a chair, and I did.
You almost said all the vowels.
One of the great rivalries of the 21st century.
I want to hear this again. Let's see if we hear.
Zaslow v. Chair.
Let me hear all the vowels.
I mean, maybe. All right, everybody take it easy.
Whoa.
A-E-I-O-U.
I like how you automatically went to everybody take it easy
Take it
so
easy.
fast. It was great.
No, we weren't going to let you have that one. And credit to you. You knew that you were fighting a losing battle, and you just excused yourself.
You're definitely one. Now, look, I understand what you're saying about the seats because I have done that before, and like I said, I almost fell out. You strike me as one of those snobs, one of those movie snobs who, I gotta go see it on the screen that wraps around, and it's the way that you are meant to see the movie.
No, I don't do that. I am a movie snob, but I do like these hoity-toity, nice high-end movie theaters, the big comfy couches where they serve like full meals. I got my go-to movie theater for that, and I'm typically not a 4DX guy because for Mission Impossible, like, dude, it was straight up distracting, like, especially when you're trying to not spill wine all over yourself. But the second time was for Twisters, and I was like, okay, I knew what I was getting into. This can be fun. And now for Mortal Kombat 2, which is
does the seats spin around?
No, it doesn't go. That'd be something. But for Mortal Kombat 2, where it's a popcorn flick, we don't have to follow a plot here. We all just want to see Baraka, right?
Some kick-ass.
Yeah, we want to see cool fight choreography. I think this is a good choice. So.
And you already bought the tickets?
Were
like,
you?
in advance?
Yeah, 8 seats together.
If you were drafted into an international battle and you had to draft sides and you have the first overall pick and this is a life and death battle.
Oh, I love this game.
Across all the seas of the big blue marble.
Yes.
Is your first pick Ethan Hunt or is it Jason Bourne?
Well, Ethan Hunt.
Or is it Beatrix Kiddo?
It's actually
As the
Brock
other
Lesnar.
option.
Brock Lesnar is my first pick.
Really? Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
What the hell?
The Beast Incarnate.
The Beast Incarnate? I don't know what the hell you're even talking about.
Brock Lesnar. If we're all having like
the Minnesota Viking?
Yeah, the former UFC World Heavyweight Champion and the legendary WWE performer,
the Conqueror.
Yeah, I've often said if the aliens come and we need to assemble a team to show like how intimidating humans can possibly be, and also have the chops to back it up. Because remember, I mean, one of the most superlative combat sports athletes there is. I mean, when you include amateur wrestling, pro wrestling, and also MMA. Not many people on the planet ever produce quite like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is on our motley crew here of people that can intimidate the aliens.
Throw Ngannou in there.
Fair! Who'd you say there, Tony?
Francis Ngannou.
Ngannou's got to be in there.
One of the hardest punchers literally of all time.
Yeah, Ngannou's in there.
I throw Myles Garrett in there.
Yeah, probably Darcy Hordachuk too. You need a little hockey crazy.
Maybe Mirko Krokop.
Zaz. I mean, these characters are.
I wouldn't throw Zaz in there,
aren't they?
No, Zaz is not in there.
No, Zaz is not in there because yes, he can't sit in a chair, so of course he's going to have to draft
Vita
somebody
Vea.
who can defend his honor.
Do you go Vita Vea or Haloti Ngata?
Ooh,
Haloti Ngata.
Vita Vea really should not be wearing the number 50, right? I feel like if anybody should, like, he should wear like 792.
Just
or
about to
something
say
like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But either way, Zaz, these guys are way off base with their foolishness with Brock Lesnar. I hope you're not gonna jump on that.
No,
bandwagon.
I do agree.
You understand?
I totally agree.
Strongly.
Did you guys not see Jason Bourne? You understand when he?
I would say, have you not seen Brock Lesnar?
I don't give a good goddamn what
Jason Bourne would
I've
not
seen
be Brock
Jason
Lesnar.
Bourne. Jason Bourne killed a guy with a book, not just a random guy either. An assassin.
Yeah, and Brock
an
Lesnar
assassin
ended the Undertaker's
expressly
WrestleMania
to
streak.
beat him.
Did you not see? Did you not see when he took John Cena to Suplex City?
He gave him like 13 suplexes in a row. It was a squash.
You understand that Bill organized a cadre of assassins of assassins.
All right.
And then they all tried to kill Beatrix Kiddo. They all tried to kill her one by one. And one by one, she dispatched them, including Bill. You think she couldn't handle Brock Lesnar?
No.
Fair.
No.
Double fair.
No. Brock Lesnar beat Kofi Kingston in 4 seconds for the WWF Championship.
Really? Yep.
WWE. I'm sorry. I should be better than that. I hold myself accountable.
Did you see what Brock did to The Rock? That's The Rock.
And he became the youngest WWE champion of all time. That was at SummerSlam, the bright lights.
Yep.
You understand, these people's lives are devoted to being not just like assassins, like taking out political figures and all of that. It's to take down each other, because very often that's what it comes down to when you're in the world of Jason Bourne. And one by one, Jason Bourne takes them on. They fly through his windows. He jumps from rooftop to rooftop. He jumps from rooftop into people's homes so he can fight these trained killers. And every time he comes out victorious with his life.
Okay.
And you're talking about Brock Lesnar to me.
All right, let's try transitive property here. Jason Bourne or Randy Couture? Because Brock Lesnar beat Randy Couture.
Like really badly.
I mean, I don't even know what we're doing here. Like Ethan Hunt, who is a distant third to Bourne and Beatrix.
What do you want
about?
What do you want about?
What?
What do you want about?
He was
I
disavowed.
don't think you understand the stakes. I don't think you understand the stakes.
The whole world was going to blow up. He got to it with 3 seconds left.
Exactly right. And he broke into the Kremlin. The Kremlin.
That's Russian White House.
Who, Hunt?
Yeah. You obviously haven't seen.
I'm supportive of Hunt.
No,
I'm
you're not.
supportive of your jive about Lesnar.
I think
when
even
you're
Ethan
going on
Hunt
and on
would
about
look at
Couture.
Brock Lesnar and
Randy
be like,
Couture.
This is a bridge too far.
Randy Couture's got a head as bald as Zaslow's. I'm supposed to be afraid of
Hey,
that?
this
Please.
isn't about me.
Andrew Lloyd Webber said Rachel Zegler's rendition of Don't Cry For Me, Argentina was the best it's ever been sung.
You had your turn.
Oh, Jerry.
Who is that?
Jerry.
Oh, shut up, Dan.
So, Mike.
Yeah.
You've had these Mortal Kombat tickets in advance for a little while
3
now,
weeks
right?
out. Going on 3 weeks.
I'm not embarrassed to admit that I have advance screening, advance tickets for a movie that I'm going to see tomorrow as well. I'm not embarrassed to tell you. I'm not embarrassed to tell you that I've had these tickets for over a month.
Okay.
Because I'm also going to see a sequel tomorrow of one of my all-time favorite movies. I bought these tickets a long time ago to make sure that I get in opening weekend. And like I said, I'm not embarrassed to tell you that tomorrow I'm very excited. Taking my wife.
Devil Wears Prada too.
Devil Wears Prada.
Okay, there you go.
Nice.
There you
All
go.
right.
Yeah.
We park our cars in the same garage.
Nice
What a
little
movie.
rom-com.
What a movie. I love The Devil Wears Prada. I love that movie.
It's a great flick.
It's not even like my wife said, hey, Devil Wears Prada 2 is coming out. Can we go? No. I bought the tickets, and I said, we're going to see Devil Wears Prada 2.
How pitch perfect is Stanley Tucci in this film?
Love him. Love everyone in that movie.
Even Adrian Grenier?
No. I guess
hope we wrote him off.
But he's perfect for that role.
What is going on with Anne Hathaway? She looks great, and she's got 1 billion movies coming out this year.
And she's a big Knicks fan.
Emily Blunt, love her in that movie.
Oh, the chemistry between Emily Blunt and Anne Hathaway, off the charts, Jonathan.
We haven't even mentioned Meryl Streep.
Miranda, come on, Miranda Priestley.
I can't wait to catch up to these characters, see what they've been up to. I mean, magazines, they've kind of died. So how do we evolve?
Everyone knows I'm
Jason
a big fashion guy.
Jason Bourne was once armed with only a magazine against one of those aforementioned trade killers, and he beat him down.
Ethan
with
Hunt.
it.
Ethan Hunt, Dave, got out of a submarine at the bottom of the ocean with no mask and came out and made it to the top. No mask.
If you're looking for me to take down Ethan Hunt, you're looking in the wrong direction, friend.
You said he was a
by him.
distant third.
Yeah, why aren't you giving him more credit?
Distant third.
Zaz.
What I'm doing is praising Jason Bourne, not denouncing Ethan Hunt.
No, you're denouncing him.
Jason
Jason
Bourne.
Bourne.
I think this is fine.
Jason
this
Bourne
is great to do
or
this.
Miranda Priestley?
Oh, the answer is obvious.
I already told you, Devil Wears Prada is one of my favorite movies.
Do you think Jason Bourne would have urine going down his leg the second Miranda Priestley lowers her sunglasses?
Steak!
Can we put that on the poll?
The
Would Jason
meme should
Bourne?
be, oh my God, it's Miranda Priestley.
Is that Zaslow? You start. What is the best romantic comedy of all time? I don't think that's Devil Wears Prada doesn't count as that, really.
No, there's not a lot of
it's not a romantic comedy.
I got it.
No.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
When Harry Met Sally.
That's a comedy.
That's not a romantic comedy. That's not a rom-com.
There are
Pretty
romantic-
rom-com-y.
No.
When
That's
Harry
just a
Met
I
comedy.
love that movie.
Guys, I'm going to come out and say it. Pretty Woman.
Okay.
That is a rom-com. You're right. That's the most iconic, certainly. You know what's a good one, though? Hugh Grant and Sandy Bullock, 2 weeks' notice.
That's a great one. I'm a 9 months guy,
That is.
too. And that one's like, oh, we got to reconcile. Like, having a baby is hard. You know? Robin Williams, I mean, incredible in that film.
Or
You know about
she's
that
having a
Is
baby.
that the one where they go,
Yeah, she's having a baby. Yeah. Kevin Bacon. Yeah.
Would we count The Wedding Singer as a rom-com? Because I love The Wedding
Yeah,
Singer.
I think it is.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Yeah, man.
That's a great movie.
It is a
Close,
great movie.
because we
Oh.
shot down Forgetting Sarah Marshall, but Wedding Singer is more rom-com.
I got it. I got it. Boomerang.
There were cones.
Yeah, Boomerang's a good one.
I'll also say How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is a great movie.
How about My Best Friend's
It's a great
Wedding?
movie.
Oh, that's a good one.
Dude, Rupert Everett in that.
Oh, the scene in the brunch scene.
Oh,
Come on.
dude. The moment I wake up.
I want to see just how woke. I want to see how woke everybody is. Tony,
Yeah.
Tony, I start with you.
Yeah.
Have you seen Brokeback Mountain?
No.
And what's your review?
No, haven't seen it.
You can't see it.
No,
You-
not that I can't
It's
see it.
it's in his queue.
Not that I can't see
I'm
it.
saying you're not willing to see it.
Haven't seen it. I got other stuff in my queue.
Do you know what it's about?
Yeah, I know what it's about.
It's
Good
a rom.
actors.
I don't think it's a com though.
No.
It's more of just a romance.
Yeah, they bang.
No, I'm aware. Again, I'm getting to it one day, maybe.
It's a bromance.
Ang Lee.
Also,
And
there's
Zaslow, what's your review of that movie? You've seen Brokeback?
Nope.
Never seen Brokeback.
No.
Why? Because you're what's the sort
Haven't
of
had time.
the thought process? Haven't had time.
Yeah. I haven't seen the movie Brazil, and I believe that won Best Picture. So there's certain films I still have to get to.
Can't
so.
see everything. Haven't
I've
finished
never
Netflix
seen
yet.
an episode. I never saw an episode of Simon and Simon or Murder, She Wrote. Even though they
Really?
were very popular shows for long stretches, I've never seen an episode of either.
Speaking of your boy Heath
But
Ledger,
I have seen
though,
Brokeback.
10 Things I Hate About You. Great
Oh,
rom-com.
classic movie. Classic
Absolute
movie.
classic.
Julia Stiles at her peak.
And if you want a little like deep cut for a rom-com, if you're looking for something, a movie called What If that then got rebranded to the F word. So I don't know how you would find it necessarily, but how about Daniel Radcliffe as a leading man in a rom-com? Adam Driver playing like a comedic sidekick. Really like Soup. It's great.
Okay, I have a list from Rotten Tomatoes, the 200 greatest rom-coms of all time. We'll start at 200, and we'll begin at 1. The Philadelphia Story is
even know
number
what that
1.
is.
I've never heard of this film. It's a film from 1940.
No.
Yeah.
No.
About modern
Yeah.
times. What are we
Yeah,
doing here?
if you're confusing that with the movie Philadelphia, you are in for a different experience.
Very different stories, yes.
Yeah. All right. Like, you know what? I don't like this. Big is number 7. That's not really. That's an inappropriate.
I don't see that as a rom-com.
Thought, you know how
No.
like, all right, should we peel back the layers on how this shouldn't be a rom-com?
Yeah, Elizabeth Perkins should
yes.
have thrown in prison.
Absolutely. Thank you, Zaslow, for having some courage to say something. That's exactly right.
What'd you think when you were younger?
I thought it was inappropriate then.
Really?
And I think it was. I think it's inappropriate.
Yeah, the woke off is
now.
over. The woke off is over. It's okay.
That was outrageous behavior from her, putting herself on a little boy like that.
All right, let's go to Cosmo because they have Notting Hill. Man, Julia Roberts, is she the GOAT of this genre? Notting Hill, My Best Friend's Wedding, Pretty Woman. She's the go-to.
Man,
Notting Hill is good.
She's All That is number 2.
She's All That.
She's All That.
Who's that?
She's All That is that movie where like, oh, she's ugly, she's got glasses, and
Oh, wow, she's
ew.
pretty.
Yeah, and then she takes the glasses off. Whoa!
Never knew.
No more paint on those overalls. Number 3 is My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
That's a good movie.
Yeah. Number 4, She's the Man. Oh, good one. Number 5.
Is that who's that with? Is that
That's
Channing
Amanda-
Tatum?
No,
Yeah.
Amanda Bynes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the intro to Channing Tatum.
Number 5 is great. Something's got to give. You know? Yeah.
You know what? That's a nice movie, even though I find it's I find it a little specious that she's in Paris with Keanu Reeves and chooses to bail on Reeves in favor of Nicholson.
Yeah.
I mean
Keanu had to
Nicholson
cook
in
there.
his prime, yes.
Yeah.
But Nicholson.
Runaway
that's-
Bride,
come on.
again, Julia Roberts, Dave, the greatest. Now, this list was confined to the 90s.
That's a crappy movie, by the way.
Running a Google search, though, it seems as though When Harry Met Sally is
That, you know what? Now that you say that, I feel like you can make the case When Harry Met Sally is the greatest rom-com.
Can I give you my favorite? I will concede, not the greatest.
I mean, that scene in the diner, come on.
My favorite is Forget Paris.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I
that's a good
just
movie,
love that film. If you love 90s basketball,
I got a thing against Billy Crystal these days, but it's a good movie.
It's a
These
great
days?
movie.
What did he do?
School
want
days,
it?
school
He cucked his ass.
days, little golden
You
rule
want it?
days.
You got it.
Toyota.
There's some good things in that movie.
It's a good list.
It's a little ponderous, but yes, fun.
Dave, you got Pat Narduzzi on Football America today?
We do. The Dews, the Pitt head coach, I bring up to him because I know that that you guys in Miami care a great deal about ACC football and specifically the program run by Mario Cristobal. So I ask him about that. I ask him about Kurt Signetti, fellow Pittsburgher or Pittsburgh native who just won a national championship against the aforementioned U. And we talk about where do you guys come down on this? I brought up to the Dews that were I ever given a choice, head coach of a college football team or an NFL team, I would probably take college in almost every regard, except I don't want to be on the recruiting trail. Especially, you go through a whole autumn of football and all of that, and then your reward for that in January and February, especially in the colder portions of Football America, is to hit the recruiting trail and to go into strangers' homes to try and to convince them to come move to where you live. All that seems unseemly and unpleasant, and I'm not a people person, and so I would hate that. The Dew said he does love doing that. So, one, would you choose that? And two, if you were a recruit or your child were a recruit and a big time, if let's say Cristobal's coming over, what kind of food are you serving? He told me, the dude said, someone served Chinese food, which I think is wildly out of line. You
Out
don't
of
serve
line?
Chinese
Well,
food in a
serving
bar.
Chinese
That's
food.
not the right
What are you talking
food
about? Like
for
a little honey
recruiting.
chicken, a little lo mein, fried rice? What are we talking about?
I'm talking about the setting. You don't sit there with a plate of noodles
What
and
do you
you're
want,
trying to like
you want
eat a
ribs?
shrimp. You're
I'm
trying
trying
to
to
eat
shake
a shrimp
a
while you're
hand. I
doing
got
the
ribs on
thing.
my hands. Like, what are we talking about?
Maybe a sandwich. A sandwich makes some
A
sense.
sandwich.
A charcuterie plate might be nice. You don't put out Chinese.
You ever had
food.
egg rolls?
It's too much. I mean, I had them, yes, and I've enjoyed them. That's not the point. I enjoy a nice. I like a pot sticker too. It doesn't mean
Throw
I
them in there too.
Want to be eating it with my prospective head coach, the man who's gonna oversee my development over the next 3 to 5 years of my life. I'm gonna sit there and then the introduction is that I'm gonna be eating Chinese food with him. I don't think so. Man. I don't like it. Kung Pao.
Black truffle honey. Artisanal crackers.
Dave, did you ask Coach Narduzzi if he was offended with your really long arm?
No, our conversation preceded that unfortunate photograph that was taken. Here's what happened. We were all like, you know, Lucy Rodine was there, and Rose was there, and Carmen was there, and there were some Pitt people along with the Dews, and somebody said, let's all get together. We were up in the Dews' office. What a time we had. What a time we had running amok all through the Pitt offices. Right next door, they're the Pittsburgh Steelers. But don't talk to them. They're getting ready for the draft. So, and and we're also waiting out. We're sitting here on pins and needles, waiting out the old man, waiting out Aaron Rodgers to see if he's going to move here. Oh, we've tendered him. Yeah, hey, Steelers, guess what? Great news. Nobody else wants him. You don't have to tender him. But either way, we took a photograph.
How many coins are you holding in your hand in this photo?
Why are you doing your best?
Well, I felt jammed. We were too tight, and then I had to free up my arm because it was like sort of pinned back, so I pulled it forward, and then all of a sudden we landed on this, and now I look like I say, like maybe I had a minor stroke of some sort.
We have a loop to close. I need the Blue Man Group Zaz before we go. All right, so someone throw that up.
I also can't believe we forgot Crazy Stupid Love.
Oh, that's my favorite.
There it is.
There he is.
Really enjoying that, Zaz. Really lean into the gush of paint there.